and eat it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Why? Because we fucking can!
I made shrimp.
Because we fucking can! And if we can, we do. And if we lift our heel off their necks now, they'll just come at us.
Is she allergic to shrimp?
No, I'm the only person with culture in my family.
You sound like Brian. Oh, God. That is a Brian thing right there. That and...
Johnny Ringo.
What the fuck? Why is it on that one? There we go.
Sure.
Me and Cody last time, because it's just us, we just hung out down here, ate dinner, fucking... The Detroit's a Supreme. The other one's pineapple, pepperoni, and bacon.
See, it's the Pizza Hut fucking crust, man.
The Detroit's not bad, though. They put the sauce on the top instead of underneath.
Can't have anything nice in Detroit.
Oh, fuck no. You don't even truck to Detroit. Fuck that. The reason you don't cut your hair because you can't be the king of the jungle if you don't have a mane.
Is it bad?
I don't want to laugh at him because I know he can eat me, but
It's not that bad.
My wife usually braids it. It was braided last time.
Yeah, it was.
I thought so.
It keeps it out of the fucking
Rotating machinery.
All the good stuff.
and the wheels for the creepers.
Oh,
You haven't lived till you try to get your hair out of a creeper.
one of these sweatshirts because the net or the hood goes so far back. Whew, you can choke yourself out, not in a good way.
Ooh, autoerotic asphyxiation. I'm telling you.
There was a guy that died from that. Changed his windshield wipers, fell between the super single and the bumper. Fucking folded him in half, and he got stuck, and he suffocated to death.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the fucking Arkansas from the Clintons.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, didn't they have one of their friends die from autoerotic asphyxiation? That was going to blow the whistle on one of the fucking bullshit things they did.
I don't know. I feel like you know a
Josh-
lot more about
Josh-
this. And
We weren't all there.
I am not currently, nor have I ever been suicidal in my life.
No, I meant the Clintons. We weren't there.
that's what he's saying. Is you can't. Oh, I thought he was saying you can't suicide someone that's not suicidal.
Yeah.
He was so happy.
So much to live for. His daughter just won state, and she was about to graduate. And
See, we gave her a shout out. She won. I feel pretty proud of that.
oh, dude, we beat West. It was fucking awesome. Oh my god, those West parents got so pissed. Like, they were booing the judges. Fuck you, fuck you. I'm like, holy shit, this is not like the World Cup of volleyball.
Josh just looks at his wife, and she's like, "Not this time. Not this time."
She sent me out. I had to leave the fucking gym.
Oh,
There was some dude yelling. I was like, no, you don't get to act that way.
and your wife's like, "I think you need to go get a drink of water."
Yeah, they had a little coffee thing. She was like, why don't you go over there? I couldn't watch it. I was fucking so pissed.
I love that because that's like all the videos on the internet. The guy like stands up, and his wife's like, "Nope, you sit somewhere else."
He goes, he yells, he had a camera when he was a West parent. You got to get that shit. And I was like, great idea. Why did they think of that? Stop it. Stop it. Fucking, all right, whatever.
They're all like, "You want to fight, tough guy?" And Josh looks at his wife and goes, "Do I have to ask you if they're asking me, or?"
I just have to, I have to ask before I kill him.
Oh, perfect. Josh walks out on there. You guys ever seen an MMA match with no rules?
Oh, dude, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. I would have beat him, but he kicked me in the nuts. No shit. That's my go-to first move.
I heard that from someone. The only loser is the person that doesn't win.
Yeah.
And they're like, you know, and the guy's like, "Well, that's a cheap shot." And he goes, "I fucking won. I don't give a fuck what it takes."
Twist his dick. Dog, dude, this is a boxing match.
Dude, I will bite a motherfucker. I will. You're gonna lose eyes. I'm gonna go for the soft tissue.
Right.
If I don't win, you're gonna limp for the rest of your life, or have one less testicle. One of the two.
That's what I tell people. I may not win, but you will not want to do it again.
You're gonna be scarred for life.
I'm hoping.
If I'm not gonna win, you're gonna be shitting in a bag for the rest of your life. That's my goal.
Josh, like, you ever seen how much damage a Copenhagen can do?
Oh, dude.
He's probably got Ninja Star Copenhagen cans hidden away in his pickup.
Start star shape cut out on him. Just fucking.
My arms are all cut up and shit because I was working on some stuff. And
A Western Star?
yeah.
I love it. Every time I walk in there, like I open the door, and he's like, fuck this. I don't even know why I told him I'd do this. This fucking sucks. I don't do engines. Why am I here right now? Turns around and goes, yeah, I still doesn't want to do it anymore just because you're standing there.
Hey, at least I'm honest and you know exactly where you stand with me. It's like, fuck, dude.
I feel like I feel like it's like better than the bottom though because you're still helping me fix the truck.
Well, I tell everybody, I was like, I don't do engine work. I don't do engine work. I don't do engine work. And then you call me and I'm like, fuck.
I guess I do engine work.
I got a soft spot. You're young. You're starting out. And I'm like, fuck. If he takes it somewhere, it's going to be a fucking $60,000 bill.
My best part is
I'll do it for $58,500.
My best part is we're standing there and he goes,
Shit, he'll be out the door for less than 20, I bet.
perfect.
As long as the bottom end's good, he'll be out the door less than 20 with parts and labor.
Doing full engine swap on my wrecker was 22.
Yeah.
That's easy.
Yeah, kind of.
I mean,
After putting a bottom end in it,
you
doing
take
an
one
overhead.
take one shitty engine out, grab a different shitty engine, put it in, and send it out the door.
You know.
No, Josh is standing there. Go see this right here. I was like, yeah. And he goes, see how your cam looks like fucking Skylar took his fucking teeth to it. And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, so that's supposed to be like that. And I said, oh, I figured that.
Every time I look at him, I'm like, holy fuck, look at that.
And the best,
Damn it, look at that. Jesus Christ, is that walk? Fuck.
the best part is he goes, see where someone grabbed these vice grips? I'm like, yeah. And he goes,
Oh, yeah, the studs for the Jake housing. I took the fucking the pipe that goes over the stud for the unsupported part. I took it off. I'm like, what the fuck are those marks? So I double nut them and I pull them off because they're only in there like 32 foot-pounds or something. I'm like, what the fuck is that? It's on every one of them. It's vice grip marks where they put a vice grip on it to tighten it down. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
well, and he's like, so I called the guy about fixing your cam. He's like 4 weeks out. So got on my phone. I have this app. You can just buy tools.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy a cam bearing tool, so you're welcome.
Yep. I got to buy that. It's $1,500. And then I got to buy a torque wrench that goes to 600 foot-pounds or some ungodly amount. It's another $1,600.
For rods and mains.
Yeah.
It's great. I know.
Those rods and mains that you got to do to like 600, they suck.
When I was sitting there, he's like, grab.
Well,
For me.
yeah, I'm 397.
Josh is like, I just used to hook it to the winch on the M88. Fucking.
Oh, dude. We on the 88, we had a fucking adjustable wrench that was 4 foot long. And you know how they have the little worm gear in it?
Yeah.
It didn't. It had a holes drilled, and it had a 9/16 bolt that went through. You just undid the bolt, slid it to the size you needed, and put the bolt back in. It's fucking huge.
Oh God, you're like this worm gear ain't gonna last long. That's a good crescent hammer though.
Oh, dude, if you lost something on the 88, you just pack that thing around as punishment. It became an inspectable item.
Inspectable item.
Oh yeah, dude, I don't give a fuck. You lost the keys at the tank. You're an idiot. Carry around that 97-pound wrench now, plus all your other shit.
Oh God.
Oh yeah, carrying the weapon, fucking wrench. It's horrible.
Swaps out his fucking. What'd you guys have? M4s or
Yeah, we had M4s and 9mm.
takes off his M4, straps his wrench to his chest, and
Oh yeah,
takes off into the war zone.
figure it out.
God damn. Well, if you're just tuning in, we got Josh back for round 2 of punishment.
Mazel tov.
If you're, we talk about the 22 a day, pretty much every show now.
Yeah, I have not done my push-ups in a minute.
So,
What are those?
what are push-ups? So if you're thinking about, suck starting a shotgun,
Kickstarting a landmine.
maybe finish the whole show, give us a chance. Maybe you'll find something to hang in there a little longer.
Yeah, you really got to get that fucking texting thing.
Which one? Oh, yeah.
The chat.
The
Yeah.
chat fixed.
I can't even comment on the videos.
Yeah, that's what Brian. Oh, that might be you. That might be a you thing then, because the other guy could. One of our other listeners was commenting.
Oh, I tried commenting. I even set up a YouTube thing.
Yeah,
And
so
it's
did
still-
I, and I tried to comment, and they
Yeah.
won't let me do it either.
No,
I can't test any of this because I am it.
Not while I was driving, though. That would be unsafe.
Oh, I was pulled over in a secure location. Vehicle was in fact in
Exactly.
park.
So the TikTok likes to flag my videos for unsafe because I might be moving while I'm taking them.
Yeah,
So the one I have, I said, don't flag this. I'm on a private road.
I remember that.
I'm on a private road. I paid for it myself. It's the interstate. Fucking cruising down the interstate is my privately owned, paid for road that I help maintain.
That's disgusting.
That works, apparently.
Oh.
This didn't work while I was driving.
You didn't like the
Or not
meats?
driving, sorry.
It was meat supreme. Probably has Italian sausage on it.
That's the
sauce.
it's the sauce on top. It's weird.
Yeah.
I have standards. They're low, but I have them.
Oh god, Josh has very high standards. Very high. Well, no. You maintain a high standard. You may not have high standards, but you maintain a high standard.
Set the bar low. That way, if anything happens, you just trip over it.
So on the floor.
Oh yeah, dude. It's fucking.
Josh, like, you see how this basement has a step in it? That's the step. It's
I
the-
still have no idea when my wife is still with me 20 years in.
Sometimes you get trapped. They just don't have any way out. You know
Oh,
what I
dude,
mean?
she has all the money. She has every way out. I have very little access to my fucking funds. I have a debit card. I don't even have a fucking credit card. I have a debit card to like one of the accounts that she keeps around like $4 or $5 in. That's like my stuff. I know we have other accounts because I don't even know why we have an account at at Western Security, the one up here, Stockman's. That one was new. Got a fucking receipt for that one. I'm like, oh, sweet.
You're like, oh. You're like, honey, so I want to buy something. And she's like, oh, you're asking? And you're like, well, it exceeds the limit in my account you allow me to have.
Oh, I think my daily on mine's like $600,
You're like, text her. You're like,
and
hey,
I can't like call to get it jacked up.
You're like, hey, me and Brian were looking at Ford pickups, and we both need a new one. I'm gonna need something.
I bought a truck the other day, 1984.
Did you get it?
What?
That one you were showing?
The
us?
99? No.
Oh, darn it.
I got another one in 1984. It's got a 6.2 diesel in it. It's a government truck. It's called a D30. It was a mail truck. It's a square body. Might be a 70s, I forget. But it's got a 6.2 diesel, absolute and utter turd. Turbo 400, but it's got Dana 60s and 14-bolt fronts, and they're factory government lockers. Got it for $2,800.
Brian's like, what was that website again?
No,
We're still looking for that 12B92.
we are not in the same tax bracket.
No, but you're talking about like cheap shit.
Oh yeah,
Brian's like,
cheap shit.
God, how much is that Suburban? And he's like, I'll take it.
dude, square body Suburbans. I'm a whore. Dude, I love square body. Like anything to 90. I think 90 is when they changed it. Like 89 back. I love square body Suburbans.
I like OBS Fords.
Oh yeah, they're good too.
I don't own one, but I hang out with a guy that owns a bunch of them or has owned a bunch of them.
See, my son got a Dodge Durango for free because it has a bad head gasket. And he's like, Dad, we should do it. And I'm like, yeah, great. Okay, sure.
He's like, I don't work on trucks. I don't work on cars. I don't do engine work.
Yeah.
Yeah, why do you people keep approaching me with engine work in vehicles?
Well, he got it for free. And he's like, Dad, I can get it and I can flip it. I can sell it for like $4 or $5 I was like, yeah, I probably could. It's got like no miles on it. Interior's perfect. It's a 2009 Durango.
That sounds like a Brian's Murano story.
Oh yeah.
That did not work out.
This Murano, all I got to do is replace the water pump. Fixes the water pump. Fucking just will not start. Like, fucking pops the radiator cap. There is more blow by coming out of the radiator cap than anything else. Fucking starts driving it, and there's fucking coolant coming out the exhaust, just fucking running out the back.
There was
She
more
was-
coolant coming out of the exhaust than going through the water pump.
She was fucked.
I suggest you check the air compressor because sometimes the head of the air compressor will mess up and push blow by into the system.
It was great. After all that work too. Then he like puts it back together. It's clean. It's nice. Did a good job. Fucking well, right up on the fucking trailer and to the scrapyard. Away we go.
Louis and Dean's, here we go. And I looked at this one before he got it for free though too.
Kind of.
So over my Thanksgiving break, I'm going to be putting a head gasket in a 2000 or whatever Dodge Durango, so my son can sell it and make $5,000.
That
And I'm funding this.
I'm funding this. You got to do what my dad did. You got to make him reimburse you for your investment plus interest.
Yeah, he wants the truck I just bought. It's a diesel, Dad. I was like, it's a 6.2. He's like, I don't need to go fast. I was like, you're gonna try to put a turbo on it, aren't you? I was like, no, 12-valve swap. I was like, bitch, that'd be sweet.
But everyone does 12-valve swaps.
I know, because they're easy.
But I want to see the guy, like the one guy that did the 6.7 Cummins in a
Charger.
Challenger.
Oh, Weston?
I have no idea.
Oh,
it was at the SEMA show or whatever.
Yeah, he like put one in a Mustang too, I think.
He was-
The Mustang's 12 valve.
Oh, it's a 12-valve?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
that dude makes me look small. He's from like Kansas or some shit too.
One that I want's the Mustang with a 6.0 and a 6-speed.
So we're looking for a new co-host. Anyone wants to join us?
I'll get out.
Listen,
Listen.
all of that's cool and all, but Motor Trend, no. What was it?
Sure.
Roadkill.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Roadkill.
Kill. The Rotson.
Oh,
The 5.0 with a 7.3 turbo.
yeah.
Now that right there is my shit.
Yeah, my son like wants to do Roadkill. We watch all of Roadkill. And the Grand Tour. Love the Grand Tour.
Oh, with the
Jeremy Clarkson and
Yeah.
everybody. Used to be something else until he punched a guy. Yeah, we watch all of those. He's like, Dad, let's find something and just like Roadkill it. I was like, no, you've never been broke down. It's not that fun. They have a support crew.
Yeah. You're like, I
a
haven't.
lot of money.
Yeah.
And a lot of money.
You're like, we have a Chandler, but I don't know if it will go up on the trailer. So you'll have to figure that out.
No, that's one of those you just take it and get a bus ticket, drop it off at the scrapyard, get $500.
Side of the road, maybe.
You just leave it, pull the VIN tags off, everything. Don't register it to your name.
Well, you ever notice on Roadkill, they never register them. They're always in. They always run the same plates
I never noticed that.
because they're in California. They had one when they did it was Dirt Every Day, I think, did it. Or they were competing against Dirt Every Day. And they bought when Austin Miller did their big auction 4 or 5 years ago, they bought a Ford that I was looking at that was like a 460 Ford with a 5-speed or something. And it had that stupid Ford wishbone front end where the axle like pivots and it's completely retarded.
Twin I-beam.
Yes.
Garbage.
It's dumb. And we looked at it. We didn't buy that. We ended up buying a D8 instead.
A D8.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was a D11.
No, we bought a D8, bought it for like $15,000, didn't run. And who was it? Highball like hauled it from the Heights to Lockwood, and it was like $2,800 or something.
How'd you get it on the trailer?
I got it running.
Oh, well, I mean, I was wondering because Josh's like, well, I got my Craftsman tool set. I'll be right back. And
It's known as my magic box.
then all you hear is tick, 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 tick.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's how I do it. Like, people will hire me. Like, hey, you want to go to this auction? Yeah, I'll go to the auction. So I go to the auction, and I was like, none of this shit runs. I was yeah. Can you get it to run on the truck? I was like, I might be running it with ether, but I can get it on the truck. Yeah. Put it in drive. Here we go. I do that shit all the time. And then they like, I have one guy. It's like, hey, I'll split it with you. Like, what? It's like, yeah, we get it running. We'll split it. I'm like, all right, cool. I get it running and he uses it for like a week or two. It's like, I like it. I think I'm going to keep it. Fuck.
You're like, where's my half a free? Like,
Yeah.
or you got my dad that calls him, hey, if I pay you to go look at a dump truck, Josh's like, yep, I have a day rate. We'll take on down there. We go down there and pulls out his computer, see a look on his face, and I'm like, hey, are we even going to like keep looking at this thing? And Josh goes, oh yeah, I got to make sure in case your dad does something dumb that I know what, everything that needs fixed. And we roll around this thing. We were there for like 2 hours, weren't we? Mm-hmm. And Josh goes, yeah, it's a pile of shit. There's no way we're ever going to buy this, but just in case. Sends my dad the list, and he's like, so what do you think, Josh? And he goes, God damn it. He's like, here's how much it's going to cost probably to fix it minimum. And he's like, I think I'm going to buy it. Me and Josh are like, just get in the pickup and turn around. Better leave before he says okay.
That guy wanted like $87,000 for that thing too.
Like a $35,000 truck.
It had triple drops, which are cool. except every kingpin. I leaned up against it and I went flop. I was like, wiggle, 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 wiggle. Went to the next one, wiggle, 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 wiggle.
And then the guy's like, yeah, it has a cat platinum rebuild. They took it to the shop and they did it themselves. And
No, it
certified. And Josh is like, well, you see that right there that says O'Reilly's on it? Telling you that's not a cat part.
I plugged my computer, half the modules wouldn't respond. I'm like, Jesus Christ. There was wire nuts in the wiring. I'm like, holy fuck.
I've never done that.
I would have a meltdown.
No, Brian, if he's got to use wire nuts, he just uses black tape. He just puts them together and tapes it.
That's better.
That is my worst nightmare.
Is Brian wiring shit? Yes.
Yeah, any wiring done by Brian.
Oh my God. This thing, and then like the dash was like all cracked. I like touch it and it's like falling apart.
Is it-
Second gen.
Chandler's driving it on
It
like
was a
test
Sterling.
drive, and I'm like, okay. And he's like, "There's supposed to be a gear here." I'm like, we ain't bought this yet, bud. Let's just take it back.
We'll just turn the fuck around. And then we talked to the guy. And he's like, so you, if he wants to buy it, and I think I got a check, he's like, oh, no. And the guy, I'm like, what? You don't want money? And the guy goes, well, the bank owns it, so you're going to have to pay them. And I was like, this just got a lot more difficult.
Oh yeah.
And he banks in like Texas.
Oh, nice.
So it's like me and Josh, my dad's like, yeah, I think maybe we'll get it and just, whatever, make it run and it will get by and Josh can just fix it up enough. And we're like, yep, gonna get in the pickup. Gonna drive off now before he buys this fucking thing.
Yeah, Chandler's talking to the guy. I walk away and I call his dad and I'm like, hey, so what's going on? He goes, yeah, just leave. Okay.
Or the piece of shit in Arizona.
Oh, I wasn't there for that one.
I know.
Neither was Josh. So,
No.
or the one
Was
in
it a
Bozeman.
Western Star with a Mercedes
Oh no. Stay away from those.
and an automatic.
And an automatic. But
And
you
we
met
get in it and there's fucking lights flashing and he's like, yeah, the blow by doesn't look bad. And then we go out for a drive, come back, and I pop the cap and I'm like, yeah, it didn't look bad then.
It got hot.
now it's got
It gets worse when it gets hot.
I kept telling him, I was like, I ain't know nothing about the Mercedes. Like, it wasn't terrible, the blow by at least. Like on any other truck, I'd be like, "Pff, run it,
running.
And this thing, I fucking have no idea.
Brian's like, so what's this half-inch chain holding the dipstick in for? Well, see the blow by.
It's weighted.
And you take off in this thing, it's like, I'm like, oh,
Jakes sound great. That's not the Jakes.
it didn't even work.
Or we went and looked at one in Bozeman. It was me, Brian, and him. And
Oh, fuck.
we get there, and the guy's like, yeah, it'll haul like, I don't know, like 20 ton or whatever. I was like, sir, I'm not trying to be rude, but there is no fucking way. Like, it's not possible.
It was a two
two lift, yeah. So it had 5 axles total, and we're measuring it, and I was like, how the
3 foot.
And he's like, well, we can get like 20 plus ton on it. And I was like, you can put whatever the fuck you want on it. Doesn't mean it can legal. And he goes, well, yeah, DOT around here told us they don't care. And, you get like 30% unless they take you to the chicken house. I was like, we have a chicken house in Billings. They'll take us right down to that motherfucker. They do not care.
Or the guys with the tonneau covers, they're called portables.
Yeah.
They just roll that shit out.
On a portable, they give you like 10%. If you want to fight the 10%, they take you to the scale.
They only
Yeah.
give you 10% if you're on asphalt. They do not give you 10% on concrete.
Oh, really? Because I heard the portables they gave. At one point, they said if it was portable, because they weren't always accurate, they were giving leeway. But if you wanted to fight the leeway, they just took you down to the scale.
So, like, there's a polite gentleman in one of those pickups up there in Hobson, and he'll weigh you on asphalt one day, weigh you on concrete the next day, but he's pissed off at himself because he gets a different weight every time. But not every load's the same. If you're hauling the same cows, then they all weigh different. But he was getting mad at us because we all said that we loaded the same, and it wasn't the same.
I saw a scale open that I'd never seen open before. Oh my God. What's that little town? You're going up towards Great Falls, you turn left, and it's got a little bar. And you turn left towards Harlow.
Lavina.
Lavina. There's
Oh,
that.
that's
That was open when I went to Stanford the other day.
Yeah. I've never seen that open in 40 years.
He went like this, and I just kept going. I didn't know what he was trying to tell me.
He had he was weighing all the hay wagons.
Really?
Yes.
Vine is open a lot.
it is.
I've never seen
that
it
one
open.
open
Frequently
very
open.
much.
Well,
It's not even a weigh station. It's just like a
turnout.
yeah.
No, but they're in there during like farm season stuff. They try to get all the guys that are trying to do illegal shit.
Oh,
That one's weird to me too, though, because it leans.
the leans to the right.
Not when you get there though. The pad itself is flat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I like to pull over and piss. I piss right in there so when they put the portables down.
I rolled in there one time, 3-axle truck, 15 and a half, 16 ton. It was great.
It was great.
He's like, yeah, come on in. And I was like,
No,
You're like, no.
I don't want to.
Did you warm that seat up for me?
it's like, where should I put my pants? Rolled on it. He wrote some shit down. He's like, see ya. I was like, huh, all right.
He's like, Brian's like, if I turn around now, is it still illegal?
Put my pants back on.
The only time I've ever seen anything in there is a game check station. That's the only time I've seen anything in there.
I've seen the game check across the street at the old gas station, but I've never seen them over in the scale.
Yeah.
Well, I got stopped in there once in the rental truck, and I had the lift axle up. I had a loader on, and my airbags are like 30 pounds. Like, there's not enough weight on this. The loader weighed like 20,000. And I have fucking 7 axles, I mean. And I fucking roll in there, and the one guy's like, hey, so your lift axle's up. I hope you're not overweight. And I was like, dude, if I'm overweight, I did something fucking wrong. That loader's got something in the bucket. Like, I don't know what it is. It's invisible, but, you know. And then the other officer gets out and goes, you realize that some loads are light. You don't need the lift axle down? And he goes, well, everyone I see loaded has a lift axle down. He goes, yeah, they probably need it. Rolls me on the portables and, like, literally doesn't even get done. And the one guy's like, hey, see you later. And I'm like, what? And he goes, you're so light. There's no fucking reason to even.
Yeah.
I think I've
Just
seen
go.
Lavina open more than I've seen Harlow open.
Oh, I've seen
Yes.
Harlow open a lot.
Yeah.
Really?
We used to run cows through the White Sulphur coming back this way, and Harlow was open all the time.
Yeah, because it's that east-west and north-south to Great Falls out of Judith Gap.
But they're like never open because I use that scale because they leave the numbers on.
Well, there and
So
then
I use it to weigh myself.
they did that construction for the roundabout at Armington, and they were open at Harlow all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because they had belt shut down.
Well, they weren't open so they were open by the time me and Brian got there to do a rescue mission with the Ford pickup. By the time we got there, they were closed, and then they were closed the rest of the day. But they said they've been open like every day except for the day we went down there. I was like, hey, as long as they're not open when I'm around, don't even fucking care.
Are you saying you're not legal?
No, just there's no reason to poke a bear. You
I
don't
am
have
legal every time I hop in my truck.
I'm not.
to-
We were at the Washington story.
If you're DOT and you're listening to this and you see wreckers drive by the scale with the flashes on, pull them over and look for light bulbs
No,
every time.
it's called God lights. You can do whatever you want with your God lights on.
No, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
No, you cannot.
Hey, the two fuckers over, or him and the other guy, they fuck all the time. Just
No, I don't. I stop at the scale.
Mostly the other guy.
mostly.
I stopped, like, the other day, the sign said OPSED, and I was like, that's close enough to closed. So I just kept going.
That's what I do. If it says offset, I usually drive on by. I know one guy that got pulled over, and he said, dude, I thought the sign said closed. And, you know, they call it the big word because it's closed. So you have the little word and the big word, and that's kind of the, like, CB, you know, hey, what's the scale say, the big word. So the guy went back to me and goes, no, if you're in a truck driving up to it, you wouldn't pay a second. It looks like the big word. You're good to go, man. See you later.
Did you see they changed the eastbound sign?
Which one?
It's no longer the digital one. On the interstate, the eastbound sign is now one of the flip signs for open and closed.
Oh, I didn't notice
Because the
that.
digital sign went out, it kept saying OPSED. Everybody was driving by.
What was stupid is ours is white. The digital sign's white
Yep.
Well, you got to bring race into it.
because it's better.
Wow.
Off tan.
It was white. You would think open would be like green and
Closed
Right.
is red.
Just like every other
Actually, no.
state is.
Nope, they do it. A lot of them do it the other way, though. Closed is green because it means go. It means drive on by. I've seen a lot of them that green is closed and open is red because if it's red, it means stop.
I don't know what scales you're driving by, but I've been to a lot of states and never seen that.
I'm just saying. I've seen it both ways.
I like Spokane scale. You roll in, you got a weigh in motion. It says truck may bypass or truck must enter.
I like
when have you gone through that?
Which one?
Sheridan Portas. I like that one
Oh yeah, I just roll in there. They're like, "Hey," and I roll on by.
pretty much. Or I roll in there and I'm like, I need a permit. And they're like, here you go, sir. Have a nice day.
Make sure you get your DOT number readable better.
Yeah, make sure you clean it, please, so we can see it next time.
I got chased by the chase truck in Spokane.
What were you doing?
Yeah, what were you doing? Because I've blown that scale a lot.
I was on vacation.
In what? A fucking
My
D8?
pickup.
Really?
Had my camper, and I had kayaks on top of my truck on the thing. And it said all boats must stop.
Oh, my God.
In the state of Montana, if it doesn't have a motor, it's not a boat. If you don't have a hull VIN or a hull
Right.
registration.
That's why here it's watercraft.
Yeah, no,
Yes,
they changed it to
watercraft.
Yeah.
So watercraft, I stopped. It said boats. I didn't have any boats. I had watercraft.
No boats, no hose. See ya.
You're like, you want to see my inflatable tube?
So we rolled through, and this chick fucking chased me down. Like,
Wait,
woo!
was she good looking?
No.
Oh, so never mind. I'm not headed there then.
She was like 4'3".
Got a boat right
She was the same. She was as wide as she was tall.
Oh, I'd say we got an actual boat. We could try it.
But we went through there, and she pulled us over. Was like, "Why didn't you stop at the boat check?" I don't have a boat. What's on top of your truck? I was like, "Those are watercraft. They don't have any hull identification numbers. Go back there and check." I was like, "All right." So she fucking escorted me to the next exit, made me go around back to the fucking thing. I show up, and it's some college dumbass, and he's like, sprays something on it. Where was the last place these were in the water? I was like, the Pacific Ocean? Oh, yeah, we don't have zebra mussels in that. I was like, no shit, it's saltwater.
Josh's like, Shields, where I bought them from.
Yeah.
They have a really high humidity, if that's what we're asking.
But yeah, it was like, Rose, I could give you a ticket for that, you know? I was like, fucking do it.
Josh is
Sure.
like, she's like, well, you need to go back. So Josh gets out, walks back, and goes, yeah, I'm looking at them. There's nothing on the side of them.
So that scale, we thought we got lucky one day. Because we left Billings, well, Laurel, loaded at off of 72nd there.
Uh-huh.
And they always told us, when you leave here, go down to the TA, weigh if you're heavy, come back, kick some off, and then head out. Well, I was feeling independent that day.
A strong, independent woman as he is.
And I got to the TA, I was 113,000. You're legal for 105 in Washington. We were going to Pasco. I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to go. I'll lose enough weight by the time I get there. Well, roll through Butte. They were closed. Roll through Haugen. They were closed. Get to Spokane, and our usual 5 o'clock rush hour was not there.
She breezed right through.
Yeah, until we got to Spokane. He chewed my ass for a while. I was 108.6 when I got to Spokane.
Jesus.
He was not happy with me.
Grandpa used to tell me stories that him and my grandma teamed. So they would load like within 100 pounds. They'd have to fucking run the tanks out. Then when they went through the scale, they were usually so busy that she would get out of the truck, which was just enough weight to put them legal. She'd walk by the truck. As soon as they got off the scale, she'd jump back in. They'd take off. Gone.
We had a guy, when I worked for Corcoran, he liked Rainier. Yeah, whatever. He was an old guy.
Disgusting.
He was a man of class. But
Not
he used,
much of it.
No, he used to drink Rainier, and he'd just go to he had like no life. He'd just come to the shop and drink. He lived in his fucking truck. And he was loaded, supposed to be going to Florida with like Carpet One or something, a thing of carpet. It was like on a Monday. He was supposed to be there on Friday. Shows up on Monday, shooting the shit. Tuesday, shooting the shit. Wednesday, shooting the shit. Finally, John comes out and goes, "Hey, you gonna make it?" I'll make it just fine, man. Sure as shit, he made it to the Tallahassee, Florida by Friday. I'm like, how the hell?
I love that one guy. He's like, so I keep getting questioned on how I can work a 16-hour day on a 12-hour log page. And he's like, so you have a log page is 24 hours, midnight to midnight. He goes, what people don't understand is,
What is that?
they're like, every page is 24 hours, midnight to midnight. He's like, nowhere in the rules did I see that I couldn't have multiple 24-hour periods going at the same time. And he was running double logs.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, so you just got to know which 24-hour period you need to be in to which one to give to DOT at the time.
We'd have guys get fired or quit, and then it was my job being a little Manitoba to clean out the trucks, which was fucking disgusting, by the way. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hey, bud.
Our
In
legs
there.
there almost got tied together.
Yeah, it was disgusting. And I'm like, we're throwing mattresses out. It was gross.
I hate mattresses.
And I'm cleaning everything up, and I'm like, oh, I got a logbook, got a logbook, got a logbook, got a logbook. I had like 5 logbooks. I'm like, what do I do with these? Like, burn them.
Just
What do you mean? Like, just fucking burn them. They all had different stickers on them, so you knew which one he was running. I'm like, wow, that's impressive that you guys can keep this straight.
Well, it takes a lot of work. I've looked into it, and I'm not going to lie to you, I just don't want to go on the road.
Oh, we were hauling grain. And when you're on cows, you technically don't have to run one until you're empty. and they want you to log it as legal as you can. Well, we started hauling grain, and I hit Watford City. I was like, well, I better fill it out because there's a scale coming up. Started filling it. I was like, I don't fucking understand this thing. Threw it in the sleeper and left.
I did it that one time. They, locally let us run time cards instead of logbooks. So
That's what I run. I run time cards on my service truck, but I don't even have to do that because I don't go past 150.
Right. So and every now and then we would. So I had a time card and freaking filling it out, and Brian's with me, and I'm like, we get stopped at the scale, and it's like fucking 10 or 11 o'clock at night in a local dump truck. Like, the dude knows something's probably fucking up. So I look at my time card, and I'm like, this thing says 20 fucking hours on it, and I'm not even off work yet. And I'm like, well, that one blew out the window.
I'm pretty sure I can PC now, right?
So I was like, well, I don't know what happened. That one blew out the window. Let me refill it out, I guess, as best as I can remember.
Fills it out again.
And I set it on the counter. The dude
20
looks...
hours.
No, 18.
Oh, 18.
I shortened it. Obviously, I shortened it, but it wasn't short enough.
Why?
Because dude, it was 20 hours. I was tired. My AMs and PMs got mixed up. And all of a sudden, I set it on the counter and slide it to the guy, and he, looks at it.
Try again. Slides it back.
He,
Is that a niner?
slides it back, and he goes, yeah, you guys are good to go. Have a safe trip. Be careful in the dark. Do whatever you're doing. And it's like, okay. And Brian goes, you realize your time card says 18 hours? And I was like, no, better rip that one up too, I guess. I didn't, I was on salary. There was a time for the company that I was terrible at filling out time cards. I still am terrible. I don't know. I just don't keep track of shit. I just know how much you owe me. I don't fucking care. And they got a safety audit. The DOT officer comes in, and the office has 6 months of time cards that don't have stop dates on them. So they got a warning for me not putting a stop time on my time card because there's no stop time. They can't say if I'm legal or not. So they can't write a ticket for being over, but they can't tell them that they're good because I'm under, obviously. And they're like, well, he's on salary, so he's not even paid by the hour. The fucker just probably doesn't care. And he's like, well, you better get him to start caring because we want to make sure that we're... I also had 2 files in that office. I had my morning time cards and my nighttime time cards.
Again, when I worked at Corcoran's, we'd have trucks come in, and I do a service, and I got to fill out the service paperwork and put the mileage and the date and stuff. And one of the guys just joking. He's like, hey, don't fill that out yet. I'm still supposed to be in Omaha. Like, what? What do you mean you're supposed to be in Omaha still? He's like, yeah, I'm not here yet. All right, whatever.
Been there, done that.
Well, I had that guy that I fucking ran out of hours in Bozeman. And I don't know what the PC laws were, but I talked to the safety manager. And he's like, technically, if you want to drive home under your own volition, you're technically personal conveyance because we're not paying you. You're not being compensated, whatever, I was like, sure. So I fucking head home, get here, and the boss texts me and goes, so you made it home, huh? I was like, yeah, it's 1 a.m. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow. And what time would you be at work tomorrow? I was like, probably 9 or 8. And he goes, okay, yeah, we'll see you then. Text me at 6:30. So I was thinking you technically can't claim on the clock because you're not supposed to be here until 9 or 10. Can you come to work for free until your clock would normally start? I was like, yep, I'm on my way. Turned my phone off, rolled back over, went to sleep, got up, and happened to make it in at 10 o'clock because rush hour is fucking pretty bad that morning.
Yeah, I don't work for free ever.
No.
Pay me.
Oh, God.
At Nelson's, we back to the whole truck thing. When you clean them out, we had a guy. He had a disorder.
A disorder?
Some of these guys are pee jugs. They need to get their kidneys checked.
You don't want to see me in Brian's pee jugs.
Fucking, some of that shit looks like that monster right there.
Oh, no, it was brown.
Mine's neon green. It glows in the dark.
But, no, he had skin something or another.
Leishmaniasis.
Some flaky shit. And that truck went to the fucking detail shop. And it was there for I don't even know, a couple days. They started on it, and it was there for a couple days. And it came back, and you still, couldn't get in it because it smelled so bad.
Oh, my God.
It was awful. And it was, brand new. It was a 2012.
Jesus.
or something like that.
Yeah, but then you'd have guys. We had a guy that, he had his driving slippers, and that cab was fucking impeccable.
Spotless.
Yeah,
BJ.
when I'd have to work on it, he had
Fucking Steve-O.
surgical booties that I
Yep.
put on my boots to like just pull his truck in. And dude, if I left a footprint on his fucking clutch pedal, I'd like wipe it off and shit.
A guy I used to haul cows with had a towel, went around all three pedals. He put his slippers on when he got in his truck. His shoes were underneath of his steps. Like that truck inside is immaculate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His trailer's the same way. After every load, it's washed out. Every light works. There's nothing wrong with it at all.
And then you got pig pens.
Yeah. Well, there was a guy that like he fucking hauled cows, and his truck was always nice, cleaned it, all the windows polished, fucking everything was shiny. And then he gets in my fucking truck to move it with his hands covered in fucking diesel on his gloves. Doesn't take his gloves off. I get in my truck and it's dripping diesel off the steering wheel.
Not his house.
Hey, I fucking got out and I started yelling. People are like, "What's wrong?" It's like, no, just not even gonna fuck with it.
You have the same respect for somebody else's truck as you do for your own.
When I had a guy ask me the other day, because I'm in a truck that isn't the one I normally drive, so it's different. It's got a different name on the door. And he's like, "Hey, whose name is that?" I was like, "Another person's. Obviously not fucking mine. You know me." And he's like, "Well, why would you put their name on the door?" I said, "Respect. If you put someone's name on the door, it makes them feel good. And if they feel good about driving it, they fucking want to drive it more and they want to make it look nice." Because I'm not going to lie to you, I'm not the cleanest person. You look at the Muffin Man's truck, hey, fucking immaculate. He's got little chrome caps on his lug nuts, and
He's got a garbage can.
I don't have room for one. Thing is, I lost my one. Someone fucking stole it.
Well, you don't need a garbage can. All you do is take a Sawzall,
Cut
cut
a hole.
a chunk. You can poop, you can pee. Right on top of that transmission, if you're lucky, you can get it to hit the drive shaft and sling it everywhere.
And guess who's got to work on it?
So next time, so next time I call you to work on my stuff, and there's a shit covered tranny, you're okay with that? Or just-
Oh, absolutely. You want to know the price per hour, but absolutely. I'm a whore. I'll do anything for money.
For a while, you didn't even have to cut a hole in my floor. You just move the rubber boot a little bit out of the way and fucking.
It's good to go. Get a catheter in, just put it down in that hole.
No, I heard those hurt. I don't want one of those.
Well, you gotta get the right person to put it in.
And to get him to use a numbing gel.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I accidentally pissed on someone's steering wheel one time.
What, couldn't get it out of your pants or?
No, they didn't. Fucking, we were going to pick up a truck for somebody, and they fucking didn't want to stop. And I'm not gonna lie, I get bored. I drink a lot of shit in the truck. I usually have to piss a lot. I'm like, it's getting better now because I don't drink as much. But they, like, hey, I'm gonna take a piss. No, we can't stop. We got to keep going. I was like, I'm gonna take a piss. Like, you got like a can or something, don't you? It's like, I do, and I don't want another circumcision because I heard you can't get two. Fucking A, I was
I
like,
can't lose anything else.
so I was like, okay, I guess we're gonna try this. Fucking pop the top on a can. Fucking hit a bump, and I was like, done. I pulled over. Fucking pulled over, threw the can off, and grabbed my wipes and wiped some shit off, put some gloves on, and it's like, don't tell anybody.
In Germany, I was dumb. I was a young private. Prostitution's legal over there. But I never went. And I was engaged to my wife when I was over there. And so the groundwater's so fucked from World War II that you can't drink the water on the economy. I didn't know that. So I was drinking the water. And as a young private, 18 years old, I go to sit call. I'm like, hey, it burns when I pee. They're like, that line. So I get in there, I get orders if I can get my bore punched. And didn't think nothing of it. A couple weeks later, come back, hey, it burns when I pee. Fucking get in that line. I got my bore punched like 6 or 7 times. Before they're finally, I was like, hey, he's got UTIs. Stop punching his bore. And it was not an enjoyable event at all.
Ugh. Speaking of fixing shit, Josh has a great story about skating in a museum.
Oh. So this was 2006. I was about to get out. I had six months left on my contract. Got back from Iraq in 04. This was like 05.5. And I failed a PT test. Like, first time ever. that I failed a PT test. I couldn't fucking run. My lung function was shit. Failed one, and immediately they're like, okay, you're taking it again tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, like it's going to fucking improve. So I take it again, and I fucking fail. And I'm like, all right, you got to go see the commander. So I go see the commander. I'm like, hey, we're going to chapter you out. I was like, hey, I got 6 months left on my contract. Just let me go out. You know, fucking hide me, do whatever you need to me. I just want to be done on my own terms. I don't want to get chaptered out, you know, medicaled out. It's still an honorable discharge, but I just didn't want to do it. And so he's like, okay, cool. It was a guy who was over in Iraq with, and the first sergeant was the same guy I was over in Iraq with. He's like, cool, we'll just fucking hide you. It's like, all right. So they put me on details and shit and just fucking hoard me out. I just called first sergeant in the morning for accountability. And then we're getting 1st Infantry Division, 2 or 3 star generals fucking coming in, and they're doing a change of command, horse and pony show. The Marine will tell you about you put all your pretty shit on and fucking stand in the sun for 4 hours and pass the fuck out. It's horrible. We hated it. Every lower enlisted person fucking hates a change of command ceremony. We don't give a shit about you. You don't give a shit about us. So they hoard me out to the fucking the museum on Fort Riley. And I'm down there doing shit, and I come back. I'm like, hey, they have equipment down there, and I can get it running, and then we can use it for the change of command. And these guys are like, all want to get up all on the fucking 2-star dick, like, fucking cups of balls. So the CO tells the fucking battalion commander. Battalion commander's like, that's an awesome idea. So he tells the brigade commander. Brigade commander's like, oh my god, yes, that would be awesome if we could facilitate this for the 2-star general. So fucking,
Now, mind you, Josh is a kid in class that the teacher loved, so he got away with dumb shit.
oh, dude.
But they loved enough that he could bring his friends.
Oh, yeah. I fucking brought everybody in. There's a thing called E4 Mafia. It's E4 and below, corporal and below. And I was the president of that. Like I was the final boss in the E4 Mafia. It was like I was the fucking capo telling people what to do. And so we go down there and I like inventory all this shit, and we had, you know, half tracks, fucking Jeep, shit like that. So I come back and I tell the commander, I'm like, hey, I got this stuff and we can get it going. He's like, all right, what do you need? I'm like, all right, cool. So I tell him what I need. I'm like, oh, I need Murray to help me. Like, yep, take whatever you need. Because now they've told a 2-star general that they can facilitate this, so they're on the fucking hook to make this happen. So I'm going to bleed them dry. So I get Murray and we go down there and we fucking get everything running in like 2 days. Like, fucking perfect. And it was funny because the old man that was in charge of the museum was already pretty much running. So we go back and we're like, hey, change of command is in 6 weeks. It's going to take us 3 to 4 weeks to get this shit done. They're like, okay, you don't have to come in formations anymore. You don't have to do this anymore. This is your mission, okay? You call first sergeant, accountability, pick up Murray, you go down there. That's your sole mission. I was like, cool, got it. So we get done. So we go down there and we just like fuck off like the whole time. And we told them we're trying to push our luck here, and we got checked twice by chief. One time we're like, hey, we need this part, and the only person that has it is the museum in Fort Knox, Kentucky. We need to go there and get it. Like, okay, cool. So they asked chief, and they're like, yeah, they said they need it's like lead additive for the engines because the valve seats were too soft from the 1940s motors that they still run lead in the gas. And I told them that, and they're like, yeah, cool, do whatever. So we ended up going down there for, 4 days with the fucking government impact card and just having fun.
No limit.
No. It was a black Amex that just said U.S. government on it and nobody's name. They didn't question us. So we go to Hooters because we're hungry. And they have to sign off on all of my expenditures. So they get this bill for like $80 to Hooters. We didn't buy any alcohol because that was illegal. We just got a shit ton of wings and left a really good tip. And so we come back and they're like, well, what are you guys going to Hooters for? It's like, well, we needed the food and everything like that. They have to pay us because if they don't, I'm going to go down to the first ID people and be like, hey, I can't do this because I got in trouble. So it gets time And we're like, hey, we need to find people to drive these things. And they're like, okay, what do you need? I was like, well, I need me, I need Murray, I need Dave, I need Barrett, I need Hoyland. Like, okay, cool. So I was like, okay, I got to do a little driver's training. Like, all right. So we go down there, and it took us like 45 minutes to figure out how to drive these things. We're just driving around.
All of Josh's friends are stuck doing stuff. I'm like, how do we join you? And Josh goes,
You don't.
hold on.
Yeah,
hold my beer. I'll be right back.
it gets better. So we end up driving one of the Jeeps back to the fucking battalion to like show that we've actually accomplished something. And I was like, hey, they have a tank. Like, what? It's like, they have like an old 40 Sherman tank, you know. We probably get that going. I was like, all right, cool. I was like, hey, but we're going to need somebody to drive it, or we're going to need the 88 Mikes, the truck drivers, to pick it up and take it to the parade field. Like, all right, cool. So I go and get my 88 Mike buddy done. It's like, hey, you want to fucking transport a tank? He's like, yeah. So he gets his truck and he goes down to the museum, and we get it up there and we fucking take it to the parade field. And that one gets squashed because they were worried about the grass. It was going to fuck up the grass because it didn't have rubber tracks on it. It was all metal. So he didn't get to do that one, which he was bummed because we're going to let him drive that one. So the day of the thing comes up, and we're like, okay, we got everything going. I have this idea. They're like, okay, what do you got? I was like, well, the incoming 2-star and the outgoing 2-star can each have their own half tracks. They're like, okay, we like this. But then the sergeant majors can each have their own Willys Jeep. They're like, okay, we're liking this. And they have these things called mechanical mules, like little ATV things. They have a 105 millimeter recorders rifle on them. Like we have 3 of those. 2 of them, we take the recoilless rifle off, and then we put their battalion or division colors on there for everybody. And it'll be just driving right behind them, and they'll all be flapping, and it'll just be pretty. And they're like, oh, we like that. I was like, I know. And the last one, we'll just have a regular recordless rifle on it, okay? And we'll have the general's flag on it. That'll be the last one. They're like, oh my God, that's beautiful. So I've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 vehicles I need to find drivers for now. So I go back, and we've got like 5 of us. I'm like, hey, who else wants to go? And everybody's like, ooh, pick me. So I ended up getting a couple more of my buddies, and we go down there for driver's training.
Josh got the one guy. He's like, hey, pick me. And Josh goes, you're a fuck. I'm not
dude,
picking you.
Fuck that guy. But we get that down there, and we're like, okay, we need to do rehearsals now. None of us have been to PT or our company area in 6 fucking weeks. And we go down there, and we're doing rehearsals and stuff, and they check on us to make sure we're doing stuff, and it all looks fun and stuff. And I asked my wife, I was like, hey, you want to come watch? And they're like, okay. So I have her like sitting off to the side, and I just drive up and do my thing, and I drop the guy off. And they were period clothes, and we wanted to put guns on everything. So we went to the museum, and they had weapons. So I got my armorer buddy, Emery. I was like, hey, you want to come down to the museum with us and like go through and PMC these weapons to make sure they work? And he's like, fuck yeah. He was a big old gun nut, 50 cals and cool and shit. But then we brought out the Thompson submachine guns. He's like, I have never fucked with one of these. I was like, right. And then we bring out the BARs, the Browning automatic rifles. And he's like, this is fucking awesome. So he did that for like, I don't know, a week or so. And then it was awesome because we got them invested in the idea of having period clothing, like all of from World War I to present time, each company or whatever was wearing something else. And the division commander was just big old fucking hard on. He's like, yes, I am awesome, and you all will bend to my will.
At whatever Josh needs. You're bending to Josh's will. Whatever.
Oh, dude. That's what it was. We just did dumb shit like that. And, yeah. And it went off without a hitch. And it was funny because we got done with it, and then there would be like, first AD would be like, hey, we need you to come and show us how to drive these vehicles. Like, why? Well, we're doing a change of command for the battalion, and we want to do the same thing. I was like, all right, whatever. Call up first ID to get permission. And there's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean no? It's like, no, it can't be cooler than the one that we did. I was like, okay. It was all status bullshit. And it got to the point where if somebody was going to do a change of command, it was me or one of my buddies was going to drive the vehicle for it. And that's what I did for 6 months. And then I did prisoner transport. Took a lot of guys to jail. That was awesome.
From taking people to jail to expelling kids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm a school board member.
He's like the school board leader. No one's gonna tell him no.
No, I'm not the leader. God, no. 3 years can't come soon enough. But yeah, that's the level of dumb shit that you guys paid for as taxpayers.
I don't even mind though. Like that story, like it's fucking worth it. I don't even care.
Yeah, it was funny because my wife came to the change of command. She's like, "What do you do?" I was like, "I don't really do anything. I'm just kind of orchestrating the vehicles."
Josh's like, well, you see, we've been fucking around for 5.5 weeks now. We're hoping to get 6 or 7. We're working our way up.
Oh yeah, it got to the point where you get a change of command and be like, "Yeah, I need to go down there and check the vehicles." And when I left, there was some other guy from First ID. I passed the E4 baton on, and it was like, I told him the bullshit we were pulling. And he was like, "Fucking nice, I can do this."
He's like, "Hey man, you know a lot of people are gonna hate you. So here's our rule book.
Oh yeah,
I've got it hardcover for you.
Oh, you're gonna come down and meet Joe down at the fucking the museum, and he's gonna give you a key. I had a key to the museum, dude. Like, security was so laxed back then. I was really trying to think of a way to just get one and just drive it off post and see if the Army would ship it for me as a personal vehicle. I didn't have enough balls though. I got scared.
The one guy's still in the arms room, naked, just rolling around in Thompson machine guns. Someone rolls in, change of command. He's like, "Here's what you can have.
Oh, dude,
the rest is mine."
Some of these weapons we'd never seen before. Like, we didn't fuck with Tommy guns. And
That would
like
be cool.
the BAR from like World War II that actually was in World War II and 30 cals that were water cooled. We put that thing together, and that 2-star general, we had an out.
He's like, "You're not doing anything."
Barrett got orders to Korea, like Department of the Army. Hey, you're going to Korea because when you're in Kansas, it's the KKK tour. Korea, Kansas, Korea, Kansas, Korea, Kansas, Korea. It's the only fucking place he went was South Korea. Sucked. And so he gets orders, and he's like, "Fuck, I got orders to Korea." I was like, "Why don't you call down their division and see if they'll fucking squash that shit?" And he called down there, like some colonel. He's like, "Yeah, I got orders to Korea, so I won't be able to do this for you guys anymore." They're like, "Oh, no shit. Would you like to stay?" "Yeah, I would love to stay here." And he got fucking orders squashed from the Pentagon. Just
Fucking Jimmy's in the background. What do you mean I'm going to Korea?
oh yeah, some poor fuckers. Other dumb son of a bitch got those orders.
I was told if I didn't say anything and kept my mouth shut, like, no, you should have fucked around more.
Oh, dude.
You should have developed yourself into a way that you could have fucked around more.
Should have went to the museum.
Well, it was just one of those epiphanies we had. Like, oh my god, this is working. And then as more as we got into it, I was like, fuck, we're in this deep. We have to pull this off. And we were just kind of like pushing, how far can we get it? We need to become airborne certified. So we all have to go to airborne school and jump out of an airplane for 3 weeks.
Like, what do you need that for? Like, well, we want to airdrop all of the equipment out of the back of a transport plane and land it.
I saw a C-47 in the museum. I bet I can get it going. And I think Dave can drive it.
You're like, it's got to be piloted. You're like, no, not if we don't go too fast. It'll just roll around on the ground.
Dave says he can do it, and he rebuilt a fucking Trans Am motor in his garage or in his living room, so I'm sure it's fine.
Some guy comes running in, and Josh's like, so what skills do you have? And he goes, sure. Josh's like, you're in.
He's
I
like,
hate
can
it here.
rebuild
This
that.
place sucks.
I need some duct
Done.
tape. I need some ice cubes. And I need some toothpicks.
He's like, well, I still owe the Snap-on guy a bunch of money. And Josh goes, God damn it, you're in. Get in here.
Oh, Snap-on guy. Fuck no. When we got back from Iraq.
Sears, though. Sears.
Oh, no. All of our shit was Snap-on.
Oh.
Army. Everything. The best of the best. It was beautiful. All of my big sockets on my service truck, courtesy of the U.S. Army. They were all field lost.
Tactically acquired.
We got new ones, and we had to get rid of the old ones.
So it's one of those kind of things.
Yes. So we had to physically get rid of the old one. We were like missing one socket. So he's like, it's incomplete. Can't order one socket for $27. We got to order the entire set for $4,000. And my sockets go up to like 4.5 inch, 2-inch drive. They're big. And the deal was we had to throw them in the scrap metal bin. They had to hit the bottom. And then I threw them back out.
So if anybody asked, they did. They
Yes.
were in the bin.
Josh is huddled in the scrap bin.
Throw it in. Come on, throw it in.
Chief Morvek gave us very explicit instructions, and he walked past me and Dave doing this. He's like, "What are you doing?" We're getting rid of that stuff. He's like, "What's that pile for?" That's already been into the bottom of the bin.
It's already been to the bottom of the bin. Josh is in there waiting.
It didn't like it. It told us it wanted out.
He sees
They
the
found-
loader.
Josh found a journalist just so they could record, making sure they hit the bottom and come back out.
Josh is sitting there and someone's got a Humvee on fucking forks. He goes, too big. Take it back.
Do you know how many guys had 8 lug trucks running Humvee run flat tires?
All of them.
Beadlocks? Super Swampers. Every fucking one of them.
It's all of them.
You could tell who the mechanics were. Because 8 lug, Chevy, Humvee, didn't matter.
Just fucking right on.
We found the NSN for that shit.
So you got the one guys that got out of boot camp and went and bought Dodge Chargers.
Oh, yeah.
And then you got the mechanics that are rolling around in big ass pickups with fucking Humvee wheels.
We go to the boneyard and we get those Dana 44s and 14 bolts or Dana 60s and 14 bolts.
Yep.
Yeah, we'd go to the boneyard with our wrecker and we'd pull the axles to put them on a Humvee that has IFS, independent front and rear suspension, and it's a solid axle. They like never caught on. And we're like loading it in the back of Dave's truck.
Josh got one slung over his shoulder.
Dude, yeah.
Like the rule on the military base is whatever you can walk out with. So
Oh yeah, it's
Josh-
like those junkyards. Like if you can walk this
$75
far-
if you can make it 100 feet.
Josh is over there with the harness on, hooked to the front of the wrecker, puts it in granny, gets out and puts the harness on. He's like, I'm doing it. I'm fucking walking out of here with it.
We found out about that. We didn't know about the junkyard on post.
How would you not know about the junkyard?
We didn't know it existed because that would you didn't go to like other places. You didn't just like wander around post because then people would like
Ask
know.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
What are you doing?
So you didn't have a Brian.
No.
Because he rolls in there, they open, he's like, puts his nose in the air, takes a couple sniffs, and he goes, 50 feet that way, I bet behind that fence there's an old Duramax just sitting back there.
We had a deadline truck and it had been down for like 6 months, and it looks bad on the equipment blotter that something's been dead that long. So Chief told us, like, hey, go to the boneyard. Okay, what is this boneyard you speak of? It's like, it's down by the Star Building. I'm like, okay. So we go down there in our POVs, and he's like, you can't come in here unless you have military vehicles. I was like, fucking okay. And like Chief gave us a slip and showed us how to fill it out. So we went back and got our wrecker and drove in there with the slip that Chief gave us. And we started pulling parts. We got the thing back up. So after that, it was like, okay. After we knew how to fill out the ticket, we just started going there.
Was this after Iraq?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you guys like roll in there and you're like, God, this is like being back overseas. Like I just grab whatever I want.
Oh, dude.
That guy just walk inside. Let's go.
It was all government contractors there, so they didn't give a shit. Even the guys back in the States were making like 60, 80 grand a year in 2005, 6. That was good money in Kansas.
Yeah.
That was like good money. And they didn't give a shit. You had a little piece of paper with a stamp and a signature on it. They didn't give a shit.
Who stamped it and signed it?
Not me. Chief really needs to lock his office better. But yeah, that was.
But I mean, if you guys didn't rehome all these poor, worthless vehicle parts,
oh, then they just get scrapped, and it's a waste.
well, and how long until they scrap it? I mean, it would have sit there and rotted and lost.
They had shit from Vietnam. They didn't really get rid of much.
Like, so why is that tank on the back of your record? And Josh's like, got to get it running. You know,
Orders, man.
orders.
It's going straight to the museum.
Straight. They're like, hold on, what's that blue Western Star doing over there? Oh, nothing. Just look away. Just look away.
We had our maintenance Christmas party, like balls and stuff. That's what we did. We did balls, and we had like $4,000 in the fund, and we're like, that is not going to work very good. So one of my cohorts was like, I saw a lot of 113A3 exterior fuel tanks down at the boneyard. I was like, yeah, so did I. He goes, they're pure aluminum and they weigh about 600 pounds. I was like, Hammett wrecker, go get done. So we got done, got the Hammett wrecker, and drove down there and we picked up a bunch of them. We drove it in a military vehicle out of the front gate to the recycling center. Didn't even bat an eye.
No one cared.
Nope. Gave us cash and we drove back on. And those things were gone within a day, I'm sure. Fucking cut up, no evidence.
God, that sounds like me. I had to recycle. Well, they wanted to bury a bunch of railroad track, and it was like low grade because it was a side spur, private side spur. Like, yeah, we just bury it every time. I'm like, fuck it, dude. This is a lot of steel. So I cut it up, take an excavator, load it on the trailer, get it all nice, and fucking haul it down there. And they scale me, take me to the back. They unload me. I get in the office, and yeah, you know we're not allowed to accept that, right? I said, well, you took it off the fucking trailer, so you've accepted it at this point. She goes, yeah, but we can't give you full price because we're not allowed to take it. I'm like, then why the fuck did you take it? She goes, well, it's not BNSF. It's not their railroad track. It's someone else, and you have a good story, so we'll give you like 4 cents a pound. I'm like, it's supposed to be like $1 a pound or whatever it came out to be. And she's like, yeah, do you want the money or we're just going to keep it and we can call the cops? I'm like, I guess I'll take the 4 cents a pound. Thank you.
Yeah, let's see where ethics end. It's about 4 cents a pound.
Right. God, you guys did a lot of tactically acquiring, didn't you?
Oh, it's how you
survive.
Every unit has a budget in it. It's a shoestring budget. And any way you can save money, you do it. Whether it's acquiring somebody else's gear or, whatever it is by chance, you did it.
Right.
Because you keep your costs down. And the commanders don't care. They're like, oh, wow, we met mission goals and we still have money left to send people to schools and ranges and everything like that because it's just like a business. First ID still had to pay somebody for ammo.
Right.
It came out of our budget. You got guys that are going to ranger school or airborne school or air assault school. It's all got to come out somewhere. And if we could, save 20 grand by stealing somebody else's shit, we did it.
Fucking Marines come out and they're like, where did we get all this jungle camo from? I thought we had sand camo, and Josh saved us $1 million by swapping all of our shit to Marine camo.
Oh.
He broke the camera.
I'm not going to look as good now.
It's not broke.
Oh, it still works. Perfect.
Well, it's just like I told you a story once about the amount of money that was in Iraq.
Yes.
It was...
And they didn't fuck around about it.
No. Well, 2 different sides.
I mean, but they had a shipping container, didn't they? With fucking...
Yeah, that was a shipping container full of cash. That was people who didn't exist. Okay? Alphabet agencies, shit like that. That was when I was contracting. But in 03 and 04, we went over there, we would just, the lieutenant used to pay for all my mistakes.
Double bag of cash, just fucking...
Yeah. We would bring the equipment, like I ran over a car, we'd have to bring the car back so he could prove that he spent X amount of dollars on the car. Well, we had a guy, I think it was Bravo or Charlie Company's CO that had a duffel bag full of cash, and he got busted by CID, criminal, it's like NCIS for the Army, and he was sending like $300 home on, like in happy birthday cards. But he was sending like 1 card a day. And
how many fucking birthdays you got there, bud?
In a war zone, all of our mail coming in and going out was screened for sensitive stuff. We're not supposed to talk about locations, shit like that. Well, his wasn't done. His wasn't screened because he was the CO. So he didn't have anybody hired him that looked at his mail. Everybody else was too busy. But his still went through the X-ray when it left through the military postal service. And when you X-ray it, you could still see the little things in the $100 bills. The
serial numbers?
No, the strips. Yeah, you can see the strips in the X-rays. And somebody was like, "Oh, this guy's sending a lot of money back." And they did an audit, and his books were so fucked up. And they arrested him at the QRF desk. I mean, hooked him up, took him out, and nobody spoke of him again. And he just disappeared. Last I heard, it was in Leavenworth.
God damn.
But on the other side of it, in the contracting side, I got out because the Army didn't want me anymore in 06. And I had a contract. I was on a contract I got out in July. By September, I was a private contractor. And I was recruited by one company to work for another company, but I actually worked for another company, and I was paid by another company. It was so convoluted.
This was the start of your just don't ask questions.
Oh yeah, you don't ask questions, dude. I was hired by Halliburton to work for KBR, and I was paid by SEII, Service Employees and International Incorporated. Has a PO box in the Bahamas. So I get over there, and there was just so much cash floating around. Sorry, my daughter just got a twerp date.
Oh God, you're in that stage.
Yeah,
You're scary enough.
Yeah.
Last thing someone needs to worry about is you coming after him.
Honey, get my shotgun.
You got a pretty mouth.
Josh, so he's like, you know Dave? No, I don't know Dave. He's like, neither do I, but you will. You'll find him, and then we'll never see from you again. It's perfect.
But on the contractor side of it, I was a pogue again. I was just a mechanic. I wasn't a trigger puller because trigger pullers made all the good money. But they had a 53-foot Connex that they wanted me to unload, but they would not tell me what's inside of it. I was in charge of MHE, material handling equipment, cranes, forklifts, wretches, shit like that. The wretch couldn't pick this up. Like, it couldn't do it. Those big container forklift, they couldn't pick it up. It's like, what's in it? It's like, well, I can't tell you. Like, how much does it weigh? They're like, well, I don't know. I was like, is it fluid? Can you tell me that? Yeah, it's not a fluid. I was like, all right. Is it a solid? Yes. I was like, okay, because I was worried about, picking up a fluid and it shifting and...
Right. Or like something inside moving. And
200-ton crane falls over, which is a bad deal. And come to find out that it was floor-to-ceiling palletized $100 bills, 53 feet. It was like a couple of $1 billion just chilling.
I need one of those.
Yeah. But we took that off and we set it down in the shop, and like it was guarded, and I was like, holy fuck. That was like the first time I've seen a mass quantity of cash, and I didn't ask what it was for.
Just
didn't care. I was a supervisor by that point, and I was like, I don't want to fucking know. I don't at all.
Just don't ask questions. You go missing.
Oh yeah, dude, it'd disappear to me quicker than shit. I had an accident.
Right.
Hawaiian shirt, Dave.
You say that, and it was.
Josh, like, you're gonna get my ass in trouble.
We had every agency that you can think of was in Iraq.
Right.
I mean, FBI, the U.S. Marshal Service, love those guys. Shout out to them. They had these things called Rhino Runners. You should look those up. And that's the thing that transported Saddam from his jail cell to the Iraqi courts and back while he was on trial. And that's what took him when they hung him. When they hung him, I got to see the U.S. Marshals, because when they hung him, it was a white sheet, and then he dropped down because it was televised, and they couldn't show him strangling. But the marshals had the video behind the sheet to prove that we actually killed him. So when the marshals came through, they're like, yeah, Iveco Rhino Runner, IVECO.
I mean, well, we got a lot of running rhinos. Iveco.
Right there, down on the right.
This thing?
Yep.
The toughest bus?
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
The black ones were the U.S. Marshal Service. That's the tan ones, yeah. But there's a picture in there of... who was it? The Secretary of Defense at the time. And he came through and got hit by an IED, and it didn't even budge it. I think it was just a giant... Go down on the right a little bit more. Can we get more pictures down there?
Oh, there's a black
Oh, yeah, there's the black one. That's the U.S. Marshals. They're somewhere in Denver. They ship those back.
Wow.
So if you see that thing, it's you're having a bad fucking day.
They're coming to get you. They're not fucking around.
What the rumor was that that's what was used to transport El Chapo.
Really?
Yep. Yeah, it was just an RV on steroids.
Have you seen the movie War Dogs?
Yes.
Yeah. So do you know the scene where they finally make the delivery?
Yeah, the Triangle of Death.
Yep. And they go to the counter, and they they sign the paperwork.
Yeah.
They turn around, they open the doors and the canister, and it's fucking stacks of hundreds.
Yeah, cash.
Yeah,
Cash cage.
Just fucking.
Yeah, that is an
Like real.
accurate representation. Everything was done by cash. Because you'd have a duffel bag of cash, and you'd go and talk to these warlords. I mean, community members.
High up community members.
Yes, chiefs, leaders, whatever you want to call them, and you'd pay for information.
Right.
And the only way you could do was $100 bills because their currency was absolute garbage. It was like 1,000 to 1. It was everybody's like, I'm going to buy Iraqi currency and it's going to go up because they have so much oil. I was like, do not do that.
Oh, everyone. It's still on Facebook that you should be buying Iraqi currency
No,
because
don't. They change their currency like we change our underwear.
so just every day it's not worth
No,
anything.
it's not worth shit. I have some Iraqi currency because it has like Saddam's face on it and it has like cool horses and whatnot.
Cool horses.
But that's not.
Be like a collector's item. Like someday,
Yeah, it's
the
a
value.
memento.
Yeah.
It's worth like, less than 2 cents. It's like $1 billion bill.
Or in a few years, someone will be like, "Yeah, we can't find any of this money," and you're like, "Well,
when we changed currencies with them when I was contracting, and the Federal Reserve actually printed all their money.
our Federal Reserve."
Our Federal Reserve printed all of their Iraqi currency to stop counterfeits,
No.
and it was C5 Galaxies full of cash flowing over there, and they had like a 6-week time frame when they would do a 1-for-1 exchange for the old currency for the new currency.
Yeah.
They did that like 4 times while I was there.
Holy shit.
Yeah, they're just changing out the bills. That's why the U.S. dollar was so powerful over there. U.S. dollar was powerful in Dubai too. I mean, I guess we'll transition into the hookers.
Yeah, let's do it. You knew you saw my face. You knew what I was. Josh is easy because he just he just knows how to transition.
So when I was working over there contracting, I worked 7/12s for my first time was like 12 months straight. I didn't take a day off. I worked 7/12s because the only thing you do is you eat, you sleep, you shit, you work. I didn't cook my own food. I didn't even clean my own room. I paid $20 to some little Iraqi girl to come in and clean my room. Done. She did it twice a week for $20. Best money I ever spent. I didn't do my own laundry. I dropped it off at the laundry facility. Had Iraqis clean my underwear. I tell them extra starch. They starch my underwear. The only thing I was there for, it was working. That's it. It's amazing. I loved it.
How is starchy underwear really comfortable though?
Oh, it's not.
You just because?
Yeah. It was a box I could check.
And I was like, "What's this one?" Checks it like, "Oh, that's where we throw everything away."
Oh, yeah, that happened too. Where the hell's my bag? But we go through there, and the only thing I did was I worked. I woke up in the morning. I worked 7/12s. I slept. I had satellite TV for like the BBC, and I got all of those channels and stuff. And when I was done, because to stay out of taxes, I had to be out of the country for 335 days out of the year. So I couldn't go back to the States for more than 30 days. So the first time I did it at 12 months, and we went through Dubai. I'd fly from Bayap, Baghdad International Airport, to Dubai. Dubai, usually like Minneapolis to Billings. And you got to Dubai, and the company had a hotel, but it was like a Motel 6. Not great. A lot of hookers. It was, dude, I'm dealing with dumb shit. I'm just trying to get some souvenirs for my wife and kid, get on the plane, enjoy a beer, because we were dry while we were in country.
Right.
We were general order number 1. And we drink a lot, and we get on the plane, usually miss the plane, and then we have to get on the next plane. And so I don't remember whose idea it was, but we started hiring hookers to get us from point A to point B. So the next time I went like 6 or 9 months before I went out again. And I went with 4 other guys. There was 5 of us. And we got a deal. We're like, hey, you pay for the hotel room. You pay for the food. You pay for the booze. He pays for the transportation. I pay for the hooker. And when we got there, we called this hooker, and she'd pick us up from the airport, and she'd ask us, hey, what do you get in your wife? What do you get in your wife? What do you get in your wife? Like, oh, I want to get my wife a nice set of emerald earrings and necklace. Okay. Well, she knew the language, so she'd take us to the souks and get us whatever we needed. But the reason why we got a hooker was is none of the other hookers fucked with us. It was like hooker repellent. They were very territorial. And so we'd go in there and we'd go out to dinner and there would be prostitutes walking up to us and she'd be like, no, yelling at them like, these are all mine. And they'd go away.
These 5 are mine for tonight.
It was lovely. It was absolutely lovely. It was a lovely experience. We got...
Just found out my wife's a hooker.
I'm sorry to break that to you, sir.
It's all right.
Son of a bitch. But we got arrested one time, and
Not you guys.
yeah, we did. We go. She'd make sure that we made our flights and stuff. We'd give her our flights. And she'd made sure, like, okay, who you flying? KLM, whatever, Delta. She'd make sure that we made it to our flight, made it through security, and got on our plane. She was essentially our fixer. And and so she would go through and be our fixer, and we'd go through, and one of the guys I went with was Frank. He'd go and get his stuff for his wife, kids, family, and she stayed with us in the hotel because we bought a nice hotel. Like, we were tired of sleeping with all of these prostitutes were like from South Sudan, Somalia, high HIV countries. Like, you don't even want to like be part of it. And
How much was this motel, you think?
the hotel was $4,000 to $5,000 for 2 nights. Our bar tab would be $4,000 to $5,000. Transportation, because we like bought a car pretty much for 2 days. We were only there for 2 days,
Oh.
and we'd buy a car for 2 days, and it was a couple grand. Food was probably $2,000 to $3,000. We wouldn't have steaks. Beef was very expensive in Dubai. Good beef, not like water buffalo or shit. And then the prostitute, the hooker, would be like 4 to 8, depending,
Right.
because you get more guys, more issue. She'd like stay in the room with us.
Right. She was like 24-hour protection for...
Well, we got arrested that time, or we didn't get arrested. We got shaken down, and the cop comes up and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to jail." Like, whoa. So she comes up and she's talking to him. He's like, "Hey, he wants like $30." And we're like, we only have hundreds. Can we take 100? So we gave him $100 and he like went away. It's like the first time I've ever had to deal with being shaken down before. Then we'd give her our return flight ticket information, and she would meet us at immigration. And we'd show up, and she'd be right at the little immigration table, and she'd be like, tall, like waving us through. We'd go to the front of the line, and she'd talk to the immigration officer, and he'd stamp our passport. And we were through immigration in like 4 minutes.
One guy's like, I might have something in my bag, and Josh's like, just don't say a word. And she's like, come on, quickly.
Yep. Yeah, it was going through. We couldn't have any pork, anything. Like, if it said pork or pork substitute or anything like that, don't fucking do it.
Right.
You go to jail, and I'm not going to jail in a Middle East country. It's horrible.
Especially for some pork.
Yeah.
I don't really give a fuck about bacon that much.
No, they beat the fuck out of you. But yeah, and we started doing that, and we'd be at work for 6 months. They're like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in R&R." Like, cool. It's like, well, you bought the hooker last time, so now you're buying, the transportation, which is gonna be cheaper, and you're buying the food, and we split the cost that way, so we had a nice time. We were busting our asses over there, 7/12s for 6, 7, 8 months at a time. We wanted to enjoy ourselves.
You can't drink them.
You can't drink water.
Yeah, it's he only drinks 0 water plus.
Yeah, he's got standards.
You thought you were picky? Have you met Brian?
It's the can. It's all mental.
It looks like Miller Lite.
Or Guinness. Yeah. So if you're wondering what we're drinking, it's called Liquid Death. It's canned water. It's fucking amazing. I don't know why.
It actually, it's pretty good.
It feeds an addiction of mine.
But yeah, that was the hooker. That's when I started, buying people.
I started buying.
But we started doing that, and we're like, that was like the worst part of working over there. You're making really good fucking money. Like, really good money. Really good money. And
He's like, I'm trying to talk myself out of going back.
oh, dude. I have a magic number. Come on, Ukraine. Come on, Biden. I love Biden. He's doing a great job. I saw those rockets hit Poland. I was like, fucking let's go.
I have a magic number.
Would they let you back in?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
Do you not know who you're fucking talking to?
When I left,
Do they have enough money to keep you out of jail if you go back?
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, when he's working, he's fine. It's when he's not working. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. When I left, I was there for like 4 years. And when I started there, I was a mechanic. Just straight up line mechanic. And then it's funny because working over there, my PTSD worked in my favor. It was an asset, not a disability or a hindrance. Compared to here, nobody actually wants to kill me, but tell my brain that. Over there, people were actually trying to kill me, and I excelled at my job.
Right.
I went from being a mechanic to being a foreman, to being a night shift supervisor, to being a day shift supervisor, to a field supervisor. I ran 5 maintenance facilities all throughout Iraq. And when I went to be a supervisor, my wife were like, hey, this is like year 3 or 4, 3, I think. And I was like, hey, I think I'm done. I think I want to come home. Like, done with the contract. I made enough money. I'm coming home. Told my boss that, and he's like, hey, just wait. Don't go on R&R yet. I was like, all right, cool. So did that, and he's like, hey, we have this, we made a new maintenance position. It's called field supervisor. We're going to give it to you. You're going to run 5 facilities, take them over, get them back in compliance with the government, which was a fucking pain in the ass, and start doing the budgets and everything like that. I was like, cool. And he told me the number, and I was like, all right. So I called my wife, and I was like, hey, this is what they're offering. And she was like, okay, 1 more year. I was like, all right, 1 more year. And that's what I did. I came home, and then the last time I came home, and my wife was pregnant with my middle son, and I was like, hey, I'm done. I called back to Iraq, and I was like, hey, I'm done. He's like, hey, don't say anything yet. Don't send any emails. I'm going to see what I can do. I was like, all right. And came back, and he's like, hey, here's the number. This is what I can do. You know, told my wife, and she was like, no, we're done. I was like, all right. And I was fucking done. I called him, and he's like, well, shit, can I put you on the recall roster? I was like, yeah. So the next war that happens, I'm on the fucking recall roster. And he knows my magic number.
You're like, so I'm out of war. I'm out of time on this horse. The next one,
Yeah.
clock me in. Which it's there. You're just not. They're not there, right?
No, it was just me. I was great because it was funny because this was 08, 09, you know, like economy was booming. That other guy you were talking last time, he was talking about getting a job in like 08 and 09,
Yeah.
and then he like joined the Marines.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't get guys to get off the plane. We would spend $10,000 to $15,000 sending people through Houston, getting them through medical, you know, giving them like $5,000 advances on money they haven't even made yet, getting them plane tickets, shipping them over to Dubai. From Dubai's not bad. You go from Dubai to Iraq, and it's different. They would not get off the fucking airplane. I could not tell guys, hey, you're 22 years old. We're offering you 6+ figures. And they just would not get off the fucking airplane. I was like, dude, you took a draw for $5,000 on money you didn't even make yet.
Right. What
They wouldn't.
they wouldn't get off, but then what? They just fly back, or
Send them back to the States. We had to send them to their point of origin. Like if I was in Iraq and I quit, they'd have to send me back to Billings, Montana.
really?
They had to pay for it.
But I mean, those guys, they took the draw, they signed the contract, but then they didn't want to get off the plane, so you just send them back.
Yeah, it was a cost plus.
You couldn't.
We were on a cost plus contract.
Oh,
So everything we paid, I think we only got like 1 or 2% return. My contract was like $1 billion.
right. So small return, but it's on a lot of fucking money.
Volume is huge.
Right.
So, 1% of $1 billion is $100 million.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not a money guy.
So they made $100 million, and it wasn't even their money,
Jesus, I think it's 10 million, but
or 10 million or whatever it is. So yeah, and that was one contract, and they had 15 or 20.
so how does like the private like work though? Because I mean, if the big war is not, if they're not in the big war, then are they just running around all these little wars that are always going on, or?
What do you mean?
Well, because like Iraq gets over, the private sector, what do they do in the downtime?
It's still booming.
Oh, like
There's still contracts.
Oh,
Oh yeah, dude. You can in any place. The U.S. government cannot operate without private contractors. I wish that other guy would have came on, because when I was in, we didn't have private contractors in 03 and 04. By 08, 9, 10, 11, 12 through 20, it's all private contractor. Their DFACs are private contractor. Their bus drivers are private contractors. Big Army doesn't do anything except go out there and blow shit up. And even then, there's contractors that do that.
right. They pretty much started hiring everything out.
Exactly. It's all because if a private contractor dies, they don't, or gets hurt, there's no workman's comp.
Right.
A military member like us gets hurt, you're paying me till I die
Yeah.
from disability or whatever it is.
So they like sign off liability. They sign off.
Exactly. And if a private contractor does something, Big Army or big government can be like, well, we told him not to, but he went off on his own and did his own thing. So
Right. Unsanctioned or.
not our fault.
Right.
And that's what they did a lot of times is, they'd
Scapegoat kind of.
they give people contracts, be like, hey, we need to do this thing, but if it goes south, plausible deniability, we're going to hang you out to dry.
Right.
They would be compensated for that risk in the form of billions of dollars,
Right.
but that's the way it works. Like right now, you can go and get on any contract, and where there's a U.S. embassy, there's a contract. Baghdad is the largest embassy we have ever built, and they can't get enough people in there. But it's only paying like fucking 180, 200,000 or something. That's way below my magic number.
Only.
Yeah. You have to.
But I mean, you're looking at a lot of risks. So these guys are going over there, and I mean, it's still a war zone. They're.
Oh yeah, the risk to reward for me is not very there because that entire place is unstable.
Right.
One, you're not going to be able to get me out.
I mean, that's all 13 hours, isn't it? That
Yeah.
movie is about them not being able to get out.
Yeah. And that nobody's going to come and get you. So
Right.
you're going to have to. Everybody that I knew that contracted had an E&E bag, escape and invasion bag, had passports, a couple 10, 20 grand in cash, so that I could bribe my way to a friendly border to get the fuck out, and I could pay cash for a flight somewhere back to the States or back to a European Union or NATO country.
Right.
And once I get there, I can go to the embassy and I can get out that way. Because we always carried our passport on us. At any point in time, we would fucking leave.
You'd be done. Just gone.
Yeah. Or if shit went south, we'd had the little blue passport that was magic would be what got us out of there.
Right.
And that's something that we did on a daily basis, and we just was cognizant of, was that we could do that.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It was. It wasn't bad. This is 0809. My wife went in to get a loan for our house, and they were like, no, we're not doing house loans. She was 22 at the time, I think. Maybe she was 25. I forget. She was young. And she had a, 3-year-old, 2-year-old. And they're like, no, we're not going to give you that much money. She took in my pay stubs, and they're like, yeah, you're approved at $500,000.
It's like, here you go. How do you want that?
We don't need that much. And that was the way it was. I mean, nobody would talk to her because she was a young kid. We were doing very well for ourselves, and like other people were like, "Oh my God, there's no jobs," and I'm like, "I can't hire a motherfucker."
Right.
I cannot get people to get off the plane. And you get guys that first contract was the hardest. You get through that first contract, and you're like, "This isn't that bad." There was guys that were over there for 8 to 10 years, just making fucking bank.
That's a long fucking time.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still like how we are now, though. They're saying people, they can't find employees, but it's like a back and forth thing that is what you're doing worth it to the people,
The cheapest contract I ever saw was $86,000.
What was that for?
He supervised people that went around and cleaned bathrooms. He was a janitor. He was an American.
Supervisor janitor.
Yeah. He was an American. He drove a truck, had a bunch of LNs, local nationals, in the back of his truck, and he drove around and he cleaned bathrooms throughout the green zone
Wow.
for $86,000 a year. And he didn't do a fucking thing.
Right. Just told people what to do.
Yep. What?
Oh, we're just making fun of Tim.
Oh.
Well, you've been telling us about the truck driver thing, and
Oh,
like-
dude, the fucking truckers over there? Holy shit. Those.
me more.
tell me more.
Tell me more.
It was funny because they made him run logbooks and shit.
What was that going to do for him?
We had to follow DOT rules.
But DOT for like the United States DOT rules?
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense, though.
No.
You're not in the United States.
And there wasn't a way station. And the roads were iffy at best if they weren't mined or IED'd.
I'll be the only guy cruising through the desert with chicken lights. Just
Josh is like, so we have a Superhead. It's got an M88 on the back. You think this fucker?
No. Contracts, we rode commercial vehicles.
No, I mean, but like that thing though. There's no way that would ever if you were to drive that would never meet any sort of weight spec.
Oh, no. God,
Like, not a DOT weight spec.
no.
You know the permits on that fucker?
We don't need no permits.
But I mean, did you have were they Kenworths or?
We had Volvos,
and Scanias.
Scanias, Ivecos,
Iveco's.
Mercedes. No, dude, the Mercedes. The Mercedes cab,
the cab overs?
cab over.
They're ugly.
Oh, they're ugly as sin. Drive one.
Drive one.
That's like telling me to drive a Volvo. I have a hard time even sitting in one.
That how you spell
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
For something with
Six figures.
Yeah,
think
for
you said
six
one.
figures, I'll drive whatever you want. I'll drive a bucket with a steering wheel. I don't give a shit.
mid six figures.
All right, cool. Well,
Oh yeah, dude, it's like we have them, but they'd be factory
Oh.
armored.
Those are
throw
the.
my Scania out there. I'll be on my way.
Isn't that Galvatron? Isn't
Yeah.
that who that is in Transformers 4?
Looks like it, yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
What?
Scania. Oh, Transformers. He's when they remake him, he's a Scania or whatever the fuck he is. Sorry, we get distracted easy.
But we had truck drivers, and the fuel haulers made more. They were like the top tier. If you had hazmat on your license, it was weird because I went over there when I got recruited. I was like, hey, I want to do recovery because that's what I did in the Army. And they're like, yeah, cool, no problem. So I gave them all my shit, and they're like, hey, you are fucking golden. You have gone to all the right schools. You have done all the right stuff. Your ERBs are impeccable. You have great references. You don't have a CDL. I was like, what? You don't have a CDL. It's like, I'm going back to Iraq, correct? Yes. We need you to have a CDL. I was like, what the fuck? They're like, yeah, I was like, all right, well, make me a mechanic. That, like, significantly docked my pay. But I made up for it in the end. But those guys, the guys that hauled fuel, they would run from the green zone, Baghdad, to Kuwait and back. That was their only fucking run.
Were they filling up in Baghdad, or were they filling?
No,
up
they
in
were
Kuwait?
filling up in Kuwait and bringing it up. Because every time we turned a pipeline back on, they'd fucking blow it up. So we were trucking in everything.
Me and Brian are over there, and they're like, "We don't see road train as an endorsement on your license." Like, oh, don't worry about it. It's
Oh, dude, we had...
Do you see that one there next to the custom?
this one.
Yeah.
The Volvo.
No.
Not the Volvo. Like the actual custom one that they had there.
I fucked something up. There we go.
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. Look at that blue thing.
Look at the orange one. I want the orange one.
Those, I was never big on cab overs. We had a lot of Mercedes, Volvos, and Scanias, mostly Mercedes and Volvos. The Scanias were like our heavy haul guys. They'd have, 4 axles on the back of them, and they'd bring up everything for us. I mean, the guys that ran the hazmat, if you had hazmat endorsement,
Did they have like road trains, or was it like a 53-foot trailer?
no, we'd run doubles, triples, whatever.
Josh is like, how many can you hook to the back of this?
Well, we'd have the first one would have a fifth wheel, and then we'd have a dolly or whatever hooked into a panel, and have another trailer hooked into another trailer. We hooked them up until we didn't have enough air to release the last set of brakes.
Jesus, you had like a full road train.
Yeah.
You were doing.
And it was, I mean, the guys that ran that would run back and forth from Kuwait. They'd be in Kuwait like 2 days, and then they would outlaw trucker fucking, they didn't stop.
Right.
And they got to Baghdad in like a day and a half.
And you didn't want to.
How far is that?
No. I don't know. Kuwait to Baghdad.
Let's look it up.
Kuwait City, Kuwait to Baghdad.
How the hell do you spell Kuwait?
Kuwait. BAG.
H.
Oh, yeah, there's an H in there.
6 hours, 39 minutes.
Yeah.
How many miles? Kilometers, whatever the
669.
kilometers.
Sure. We got a conversion?
Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
See, there's Fallujah. That's Ramadi. That's where I used to live. Oh, I love Ramadi.
Ramadi. There's Baghdad. So it's a
Yep.
2-hour flight for $416. You hear that, Brian? Only $416.
415 miles.
Yeah. It's only 415 miles, but it would take you 3/4 of a day or better to get to Samara or Samawa or Al Dawaya. And you get there, and there'd be like 10 IEDs. So you'd have to get those cleared, and you would run unfucking governed.
Just is hold to the floor. Just,
Yep.
Now,
You didn't stop.
How do you know there's IEDs though? Like, how would they determine that there was?
Every inch of that road has somebody watching it.
Oh, so as soon as one was planted, they'd bring in a squad to come.
Remember the
try to-
guys that used to fall down?
Yeah,
They had those teams all the way down that road.
gotcha.
People would fall down, and then you had to go and fucking clean it up.
Right.
So yeah, and our guys ran from Kuwait to Baghdad, Baghdad to Kuwait. That's it. Those other guys that did long haul that would do Kuwait to Basra to Najaf to Baghdad all the way up to fucking to Crit and then back down. Those were legit suicide jockeys.
Like they're risking everything to try to
Yeah, but they were,
compensate.
300. And those guys would literally like, hey, I'm doing this for a fucking year and I'm out. And a lot of those guys did it for a year and they were out.
Right. They go and wipe their tears with their stack of cash and
Yeah. But it was funny because I was there 4 years or so, and guys would leave and be like, "I'm never come back to this fucking place."
Oh, hey, Josh.
Year and a half later, you're like, "Hey, look who's coming back. What happened, man?" My wife got used to that fucking money, and the wives they would get used to that money and like, "Oh my god, this can't be right." First time I got paid, I got held because they're like, there has never been this large of a deposit in this account ever. And they wouldn't process it.
really.
Yeah. Fuck you, Western Security.
I love it. So were the wives used to the money, or were they used to being the money and they didn't have a husband hanging around them?
Oh, dude, we would fuck it up. My wife had a groove. Like, she ran the house. She had everything. I'd come home and I would completely fuck that up. And she was like, "When are you leaving? Like, what are we doing?"
Now my ex-wife's like, "When are you hitting the road again?
Yeah.
Someone will be here in about 30 minutes.
It's been 3 hours. When are you leaving?
When are you leaving? I need your paycheck, your credit card, and you to get the fuck out of here."
Hey, does that little red thing mean that there's a traffic jam or something right there?
Yeah. There's one right here, too.
That's what I was just looking at.
There's one right there. Yeah, right? Oh, that's a change of route. I don't want to change the route.
You might want to go around that area.
Oh, it won't let me. There we go. Yeah, that's it usually tells you like something.
Construction.
Yeah, gas station my ass.
This route crosses a country border.
That isn't the country border.
Oh, fastest route avoids the road closure on
The closure's a little
squiggly lines with some more squiggly line.
The road closure's the little red circle down at the bottom.
Yeah, there's a checkpoint there or something probably.
Oh, they got another one already. There's another one over here. Yep, there's another one right there. Use Google Maps. Find all IED locations now.
Right next to El Hamza. That place is a fucking shithole too.
Isn't like the all shitholes? I mean,
Oh yeah, I've been to the city of that they talk about in the Bible. That was like
Red circle right there next to Kuwait Towers, the closure.
it ain't gonna give me any options. Keep going.
Yeah, but I've been to all sorts of little countries or little things like that. Up top there in Kurdistan, where that green thing is to the top of Iraq. No, that's Azerbaijan.
This is right here. Oh, right there.
Right there. There's going to be a nice little town called Tikrit in Erbil. Yeah, there's Erbil. Yeah, that place is a shithole too.
I see they got a bypass, so it looks like Denver.
Yes, it's a ring city. It's great.
It's great.
Really cuts down on the fucking Durka jihad. Yeah, this place fucking was awesome. I loved it.
Armenia.
Oh, you can go to Georgia. Not even that far.
Oh yeah, sure. We'll get some peaches.
Moldova. Oh, there's Ukraine right there. There's the next one.
Yep.
That's where we're headed next.
Kiev.
Didn't they take Kiev?
I don't fucking know.
Oh, Belarus. That's where Riley's got a friend from. No. He's from Ukraine, Uzbekistan, something like that. And then I knew a kid from Belarus. So I'm on this wind farm, and this kid, he's listening. I mean, he's a nice kid, a decent kid. He's just different, you know. He took a liking to me. And we're like, hey, where are you from? He's like, well, I'm adopted. And, oh, cool, whatever, yeah. And he felt the need to share. He's like, yeah, my mom said that the United States government would let her adopt. And we're like, why? And he's like, I don't know. She just got flagged or something. They wouldn't let her adopt a kid here. And we're like, oh, so how did she adopt you? Well, I guess she's really well off, has a lot of money, bribed her way into Belarus, bought a baby, bribed her way to get some papers, and then bribed her and the baby out of Belarus back to America.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
And now she has a kid. So then he's like, yeah, and I got a sister. And we're like, oh, she can't be adopted, right? No, yeah, she bribed her way into Africa, bought a little baby, bribed her way out of Africa. Now she's got a daughter and a son.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, okay, cool. It sounds like a good time. And he's like, yeah, and she's locked up in a mental institute. And we're like, oh, God, here we go. And then he's talking to someone, and they're like, what do you do, like live in the mountains? He's like, yeah, it's like a goat trail from the highway to our house. We live off grid. I got to split wood all summer, so we have heat for the winter. And we're all like, this is getting really fucking weird. Like, someone needs to check on you people.
Yeah, that border was open too.
Thought that said Lavina. I was like, God, they got it all over there.
Oh, Latvia?
Yeah.
Lavina? Lithuania? No, they don't need I don't think they have a trailer park over there.
I'm sure they do.
Probably like fancy buildings or tents, like no in between.
Oh, dude, it's all fucking mud. I wonder if they have Street View in Iraq.
They do. We were looking at it the other day. Where do you want to go?
Fuck, go to Baghdad.
Okay. Come on, just zoom in, you dumb.
See if I can find the green zone.
The green zone. Okay, we're at in Baghdad.
Right next to the river. Oh, see that dick?
This right here, the tip of the dick?
Yeah. The green zone where that
Right here?
Baghdad is? Yeah, that's the fucking Capitol building. And then right over towards the top of the shaft.
14th of July Bridge.
Yeah, 14th of July Bridge, just east of that. That is going to be the...
4th of July pass.
4th of July pass and 14th of July bridge. Took him 10 days to get over here to start this bridge.
Oh, the green zone.
Yep.
If I click on it, it usually does.
That's lovely.
He's a zombie.
Change it to satellite view.
Very
Let me get to
touristy.
The 9 square thing
right
right there,
there.
right next to your name.
No, that's not it.
never mind.
It's this one. We were playing with it, trying to figure this out the other day.
There
for
we
you.
go.
The dick.
Yeah, that's the only way I knew how to do it. Fucking penis involved.
Kind of like the Dallas dick.
Okay, so zoom in next to 4th of July.
14th of July.
Yeah, 14th, whatever.
It's closed.
Whatever.
It's
Okay.
closed.
Oh, dirty cocksuckers.
Which one?
Probably chain up law in effect.
Danish embassy.
This
Right
is
there.
all the United States Embassy.
What?
Right there.
How is anyone supposed to ever Like in 13 hours, there's like 5 guys.
That is the largest embassy we've ever fucking done.
Now what's
See that
here?
pool?
Yeah,
Yeah, that guy made like $100,000.
you told me about the pool. They needed someone to clean it.
No, lifeguard.
Lifeguard. That's what it was. Lifeguard.
Yeah. Go up. Keep going up.
A Peace High School for boys.
Babylon Mall.
Keep going up. Okay, that's the unknown soldier monument. Cross sword should be around here somewhere. Zoom out a little bit. Oh, right here. Here's cross swords. Victory Arch. That's where he would do all of his, where he's shooting the gun in the air. That's where it's at. Now go over there. Okay, zoom out a little bit.
If you're listening to the podcast, we are looking at Google Maps.
Oh, that's where the lions that got out.
Lions got out?
Yeah, I was aware of a park that was Uday and Kusei's zoo. He would feed the lions, the girls that didn't want to have sex with him.
What happened when they got out?
Oh, drunk guy. They got shot with a saw.
Saw? Did they make it into like you guys, or was it just?
Oh yeah, they were like, we locked down the green zone because the fucking lion got out of the zoo. And there's like people running around on fucking Humvees trying to shoot it and shit. Go down a little bit.
Josh is like comes back with a lion head.
Okay, so my house was over here. My containerized housing units, my CHU. Yep, all these little things right here.
Those are your housings.
Yep, that's our housing area. That was my camp.
Which one was it?
Zoom out.
The Blue Star.
That's the laundry facility right there. This one.
This one right here.
Yeah, that's the laundry facility. So I lived over in this area.
Huh. Can I do Street View?
USAID. Whatever. It's a fucking front.
It let us do Street View last time. I don't know why it won't let us.
I get to scroll in more.
Oh, maybe that's what it is.
Blue Star Restaurant. Yeah,
You're like, that wasn't there either.
that's got E. coli.
It's got equal. Let's see if we can get Street View. Nope, that's it. It won't let us.
Zoom out a little bit more. Keep going out. Keep going out.
See the black line right there? Click on that.
I tried that.
Oh, go over here. That was Blackwater's heliport. This was my shop.
Holy shit! How big is that?
Big. And this was our storage facility for all of our cars that we maintained when people weren't using them.
When we tactically acquired them and had to.
Yeah, that was our car wash.
The Freedom Center.
Yeah, it was not a freedom center. It was a detention center.
It was a detention center. Yeah, why won't it let me do that?
Because nobody does Street View there, dude.
It did though. It let us do it the other day because we were looking at shit.
It says Street View right there.
Oh yeah, it does. Yep. No, it's no one wants to do.
I was about to say, if this shows up and I'm on it.
Let's see. Browse Street View images. Oh, they only have images. So let's do. Can we get one over? Let's see if we can get one here. Nope. It's pretty much locked down over here. Must have to be into more, less,
Yeah, you're not gonna get any of this stuff because
Yep.
it's locked down.
Yeah, see, everything over here is available, but not this stuff. They don't want anybody to know.
But my shop up there, Department of Civil Society Organization, yeah, whatever. My shop right down here was the body shop. We had a full body shop, like 2 paint booths, machine shop. My heavy shop was over there on the right side, and we had light shop, and then we had our parts room right there.
Our parts room, like we gotta repurpose some of this stuff. We got some Humvee axles we need to fly back to the States.
No, because where is it? That was our used parts facility, and our welder was right here. That was our used parts facility, and this was our bone mill.
God, I wish I had better picture quality.
Wasn't much in there.
It wasn't a lot.
Frames.
Well,
Frames in there.
Maybe a donkey.
we had what was called a cost savings initiative. If you came up with an idea that would save the government money, you'd get like 15% of whatever you saved. Once we started running our used parts department, our deadline rate went down to like less than 1%. transmissions, engines. I was really good at frame swaps from my stuff with the CBs. So we do that on the Suburbans and shit. And that saved the government, it's like 60 or 80 million. So we got to divvy that up between all of us.
God damn.
Yeah. It's good times.
It's good times. I can't even complain. I don't ever complain about what Josh charges me because he's really good to me on that aspect. Because he always looks at me like right in the eye and goes, "You know, I don't have to be doing this, right?"
Yeah. You know, I don't want to do this, right? Yeah, but that's the green zone, man. That was the good old days. Yeah, but that fucking the
Lincoln.
embassy.
That's fucking huge.
Oh, dude.
Where'd it go?
No, that's the park. See? Vallarta Park Zoo. That's where the lion was.
They just fed girls to him?
Yeah. Down towards the dick.
Oh, yeah.
Right there.
Yep. That just doesn't seem like...
Embassy.
It's only a 4-star embassy.
They got some really good street view pictures of...
That was before we rebuilt it. That's from a J-Dam landing in the center of it and blowing the building to shit. We rebuilt that.
You rebuilt this building?
Yeah. And the one next to it. See how the roof isn't there?
Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice that.
And see the blue dome?
Yep.
And that roof's missing?
I love that this is what Google Images has for an image.
Yeah, we rebuilt all that stuff. That's where we had that heavy haul truck
Oh, yeah. You were telling me about that.
that we didn't want to dismantle. Oh, dude, look at go up. All the tower cranes we brought in down. That's building the embassy.
Jesus.
Those are all tower cranes that we brought in.
Do they have much of this shit down there already or no?
No, everything we brought in.
Oh, I gotcha.
Our embassy is completely self-sufficient. Water, power, sewer, everything.
So they're able to clean enough of the river to actually drink it?
No.
Oh, no. Still no?
No. I don't know. Maybe they have new technology now, but not when I was fucking there.
I mean, you said they had water, though, so where do they get their water?
We bring it in.
Oh, I gotcha. But they're not relying on anything yet.
Nope. The entire country could go down, and the embassy would still be bright. They have sea rams that, have you ever seen the videos where like incoming, and it sees like a laser shooting?
Oh, yep.
Yeah, it's a Gatling gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do they fucking shoot? Like 1 million rounds a minute or whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen them.
Yeah, they're like trailer mounted.
Yeah. They have the ones on the boats.
They literally took the ones off the boat and made them land mounted.
Just fucking, here you go.
They put it on a flatbed trailer. And it has its tracking software and it's everything on a fucking step deck.
That is awesome.
A gun.
But you're also hoping that, I mean, they're self-sufficient, but they're just going to leave it. They'll bail.
Yeah.
As soon as shit
probably.
hits the fan, they're like, oh, you can have it. Take it. Just like all that other shit we left there.
We left a lot of nice stuff. Mm-hmm. But I brought a couple of guys with me to the States. My supervisors, my LNs, they one guy's a truck driver. And he called me up one day. He's like, "Hey, I can't fix my country. I want to come to your country." And that dude is more American than most of the fucking Americans I know. He was born in fucking Iraq. But when he got in, they put him in Denver. And this dude worked 2 fucking jobs. And when he was going from one job to the next, he would turn on like Lyft and Uber. And he would Lyft and Uber people to the other side of Denver where he was going for his second job. And then when he was done with that one and he was going home, he'd Lyft and Uber home. He was always working.
Right. He didn't fuck around.
No. And he got off the plane and they gave him, food stamps and Social Security. And he's like, how does America pay for this, Mr. Josh? But you fucking don't, man. It's like, this is not good. I was like, no, it's not good.
He's like, good question. Good question.
And now he's a fucking trucker. He owns his own truck and he moved to Arizona. And now he's a fucking door swinger. He runs reefer from California to Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, down that way. And
Probably because it's hot and he likes it.
Yeah, probably. He did not like the winters at all.
Let's send you to Denver. And he's like, oh, this isn't bad. And he's like, oh,
Culture
God,
fucking shock.
This is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, but he's doing great. He loves it in America.
I do too.
I mean, you go from that
Right.
to America, we're like, not that bad.
No, people don't.
Oh, yeah, we go to the 4th of July, the 14th of July bridge, and we'd go there, and we'd be, because our road ran right next to the 14th of July bridge to where we lived over there on the Tigris.
Yep.
And we'd be looking down there, and we'd just see a body floating.
Why is it called the 14th of July Bridge?
It was the 14th of July bridge because I think that's when they fucked with Iran. And that's when he named it.
That's funny.
Yeah, the Republican Palace, that was our first embassy. And that was the pool.
Where they needed a lifeguard.
Yep.
Because you always got to have a lifeguard on duty when you're going to party hard.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Where's this pool at?
Right there.
Right there. This one.
And those were all little containerized housing units. And
I love how they just ship containers. Yep, live here.
my room was 8 foot wide by like 15 or 20 foot long. And that's where I lived.
So was it like 2 rooms, a container then?
No, they put them up, and it was 20-foot containers, and they had a catwalk in the center. It was single-man rooms because
I gotcha.
I have standards, and I'm not fucking sleeping in a bunk bed. And, yeah, look at that. Fucking,
A nice blue pool that
Yeah.
someone paid a lot of money for a
yeah,
pump.
there's probably a fucking spy or something sunbathing right there.
What did you say that they needed a water pump one day so everyone loads up? Or a pool pump?
Oh, dude. The job I wouldn't want you can pay me to do was a lifeguard. Because all of those State Department and embassy people would get drunk and fall in the fucking pool.
And they're just old as fuck.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was
Just
dumb.
They shouldn't have been walking by a pool anyways.
Oh, no, there's like a lot of young girls in there, too. Like, all the mistresses and shit. Like, General Petraeus is fucking...
Are they still
side piece.
hiring pool boy pool boys?
But then we had, I don't know, I think like a rocket hit or something. And we had to come up with a way to fix the fucking pool pump so that the pool... That's like what they were concerned about. They're like, not us or anything. Like, our pool doesn't work. It's not filtering right. Like, all right, priorities.
You guys shipped in 1 million gallons of U.S. water to fill a pool.
We shipped in 5,000 cubic yards
Of water?
of sand.
In a desert?
Yes.
Why?
Could you think of why? Just from America. It had to be American sand. 5,000 cubic yards.
So either it was because it was an American contract, they like to use American shit.
Oh, it was. It was American contract. It came out of Arkansas, I think.
They wanted the color of sand, that color.
Nope. It was for their beach volleyball pits.
They needed
American sand.
because they couldn't
We
find
trucked that up from the port in Kuwait in fucking side dumps through Iraq.
But what they do? Load it on a barge and then scoop it out of the barge, and they didn't try to just shipping container it? That seems dumb.
It's a government contract.
I see those stories are like, I'm like, I can't believe we spend tax money on that kind of shit.
Oh, dude, if you would even, they will never look at those contracts because they wasted so much money. Somebody was like, hey, we need sand for a fucking volleyball pit. And, next to the pool.
Yeah.
Why does that have grass?
That's a lot of grass.
Yeah. It's an oasis. And it was not used. They were not using river water. I guarantee that. Because there was like fucking leishmaniasis and the flesh-eating bacterias and all sorts of shit in that water. They were not using that to water the grounds for the embassy.
So what are they going to do? Like, what did normal people do for drinking water and stuff then?
Oh, it was just like in Iraq. The Hershey's Water Company from Saudi Arabia would 1 liter bottles of water.
I mean, like, what does the locals do, though? What did they do before you guys got there? Like,
Oh, dude, they fucking drink that, no problem.
ugh.
Dude, straight out of they would bring me fish. Like, hey, share my lunch, Mr. Josh. I brought you fish. Nope.
No. You're like, I'm not from Acton. I'm not from the trailer park.
No, there's so much mercury in there. They just drink that water. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I'm like, holy shit.
You're like, yeah, you've been drinking it for generations, but not.
Oh yeah, it probably like destroyed their genes.
Josh's like, I'm from the States. This will kill me.
Oh, dude, yeah, I was very, very needy.
It's like mystical creatures that if you don't know better, it just doesn't bother you.
No. Yeah, but we had we pulled up and we made a giant sand pit and unloaded it from the side dumps, and they went right back to Kuwait to unload it and right back up north.
That sounds fucking crazy.
Oh, dude, they were getting paid. You imagine having that contract?
Yeah, but I usually like low bid stuff, so you know.
Oh, that was a no bid. 0304, it was all no bid.
Oh, they just drove in.
Yeah,
and
5,
decided-
6, 7, 8. There was no bid. No bid
Oh.
contracts.
Me and Brian were like, the rate just went up.
The ambassador, his engine blew up in his armored Suburban, and it was a high level armor rating, and his engine blew up, and
5.3.
no, it was 8.1,
Oh,
and it blew up, and we didn't have one in the junkyard, so we're like, hey, we need an engine, and getting an engine up there was like 8-10 weeks. And they flew one, DHL, from the plant in Michigan. An 8.1 liter DHL flight from there to Kuwait to Baghdad. And our trucker just had to go to Bayap, which is like just down the street, to pick up this motor. I got it in like 2.5 days, unheard of.
How much was that?
Oh, it was $180,000 probably
Oh my god!
with shipping.
Jesus.
Yep, but he got his motor. He didn't-
$3,000 engine.
You're right.
Oh, yeah.
But Josh is like, hey,
boat anchor.
Josh's like, hey, I know a guy. Let me call Brian real quick. He'll send us up some parts.
But we had an entire division that was called our buyers. We'd submit, tickets for parts or whatever, and our buyers would go out and get 3 competitive bids, whatever. Those people were fucking loaded. They were getting kickbacks from somebody.
Right.
And the buyers would come out and they would buy it, and they're like, yeah, we're going to buy it from so-and-so. Like, why? Why are you not just buying this from Saudi? Why are you not just buying this in Kuwait? I have the phone number to the dude in Kuwait. But, we got a better rate. I was like, no, you didn't.
No, you got fucked. Like,
Yeah.
well, my buddy back in the States, Brian, he said he could send it over here for a small fee of $1 million.
Well, with the embassy rigs, we would get something to go down, and we would literally call the line in GM in Dearborn, Michigan, or whatever, and they'd DHL us shit. Like, it was insane.
God, that's expensive.
Yeah.
So, back to our little missile happening thing. What'd you say those were? C-18s? You say the trucks that you burn the wheels out of the tires?
The heavy haul truck?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a C18, and it had a gear reduction. It was a Western Star C18 with a planetary gear reduction hub. Like, this thing had torque out the wazoo. And when we were building the embassy, the new embassy, not the old one, we were building the new embassy, we had these cranes, and we didn't like to take them apart, and we had a D11 that we needed. So we didn't want to take it apart, so we just shipped it in one piece on I think it was like a 4-axle beam lowboy. And it was coming out of the pit, and the rim was turning, and the tire was not. It was spinning on the bead. And yeah, it was just insane the amount of torque that thing had.
Like, how much power does it have to be, though? Like, I mean,
That was in excess of probably 8 to 1,000
Jesus.
horsepower. The torque was, I don't know, 5,000-6,000.
Right.
It ran so hot that we had to have sprayers on the radiator and intercooler, just spraying misting water
To keep it cool.
to keep it cool, because it didn't. We had oversized reservoirs. We put water tanks on the back by the fifth wheel. We put extra coolant in the back by the fifth wheel and just pumped it through. We did everything we could just to keep it cool. That truck was probably $1 million.
God damn.
We had 2 of those and we left them.
Just me and Brian will go get those.
Oh, dude, you'd probably. I know enough guys over there still. We'd probably drive to Kuwait, no problem. Get her on a boat.
You let us know. We'll go with you.
I used to buy Iraqi army people. Like, we supplied them all their stuff. I buy their body armor off them
Right.
before they went downtown to do a mission.
Josh's like, hey, before you dent that, can I buy that off you, please?
Oh, dude, AKs were like $120. Rounds were like $2 a round. The rounds were expensive. AKs, not so much. I had one dude. It was a general in the new Iraqi army, and I was bullshitting one day, and I was like, hey, I was wondering if I can get a Hind armored attack helicopter. And he was like, of course. $250,000. You must pay pilot more. I was like, what? I'd already been buying people, so I was like, yeah, fuck, I'll buy a pilot. Why not?
People.
They were so crooked there.
Like if it meant the end, like they lost the war, they didn't care as long as they made their money off.
Oh, they're getting paid. They didn't give a shit. They had this thing. It was for bomb detection. It looked like, when you're like looking for water,
Oh, yep.
and it looked like those dowsing rods. We had things like that were supposed to find explosives. See if you can Google Iraq. What would it be? Iraq bomb detection
But how did
fraud.
fraud? How did that work though? Like, is it literally just like a dowsing rod?
It didn't. Somebody sold them to the Iraqi government that we bought for them for billions of dollars.
Detector fraud.
The story
there.
of the fake bomb detectors.
The ADE.
Yeah, sure. Let's go to that one.
651.
Yep, that's them. Yeah, you walk around the truck and they're like supposed to find it or something, but it was complete and utter bullshit.
It's
$7,000 per unit.
Jesus. Did they get busted for that?
Oh yeah,
UK based. They said a lot of these fraud things. They'll come back on you. The UN or whatever.
they didn't give a shit.
No, a whistleblower.
Yeah,
It took a whistleblower to tell you that wasn't doing.
yeah, but
fucking
nobody went to
nothing?
jail.
Oh man.
I think it was like Sandia National Laboratories.
That's
but
what
it
it
was
said.
but it was like the
Oh, it was investigated by. On behalf of the U.S. National Law Enforcement Corrections.
whatever.
Had to stick our nose in it.
Yeah.
Jim McCormick.
They were manufactured for 150 pounds a piece. They were sold for 7,000.
He was a police officer. He was a salesman. Of course he was.
A hell of a salesman.
He established a private limited company, Broadcasting and Telecommunications, which he renamed Advanced Tactical Security and Communications. Oh, man. Everyone knew that there was nothing inside the ADE. A
Yeah.
whistleblower who worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took a whistleblower, though, to realize these things weren't doing shit.
Well, if you blow the whistle on something, you get a portion of whatever the fraud you discover is.
Oh, did you see that part? McCormick was said to have answered that the device did exactly what it's meant to. Makes money.
Yeah.
Oh, 1.78 million pounds for the year up to July,
Of 2008.
with a gross profit of 1.35 million pounds.
For the year. He sold those for years.
Oh my God. In 2010, it no longer filed holdings.
Yeah, you just changed the name and changed the fucking T-shirt.
The Iraqi government paid about 37,000 pounds for a device that was being marketed for about 11.5.
Huh.
About 800 devices in 2008 for
20 million?
oh my God, for another 32 million.
No, that was another 700 in 2009 for 32 million in no bid contracts.
But there was no one to bid against. He was the only handheld bomb detection agency out there.
I wonder if you could find the.
Oh, the Mexican government bought some too.
Oh yeah,
Of course they did. There's a lot of people that have bought these. Oh, it led to a ban of the device's export from UK
they weren't made in the UK.
and criminal investigation of its manufacturing. The U.S. Army or military and technical experts believe the device was useless. I have no confidence that these will work. It's a dowsing rod.
Yeah. I'm looking up the volleyball pits.
Oh. Are the embassy volleyball pits?
Yes.
Let's see. I know I spelled that wrong.
Volleyball schedule.
Me and Brian like to go to the bar and watch college softball. I think it was Texas. They got better looking players than the other ones. Mm-hmm. Oh, we're not going to find it. Wounded Warrior Rehabilitation Center. No, these are all just normal volleyball shit. Speaking of that, we shouted out Josh's daughter for her volleyball game, and she won.
Yeah.
So way to go. You're welcome.
There's a certain location in Iraq that many in the Special Operations Force community know. The particular place has a pool in every backyard and marble floors. The 3-story complex that housed up to 50 Rangers also had other amenities such as sand volleyball courts, horseshoes, diving boards, and yes, zip lines. They went from the top of the 3rd story into the pool. Let's just say someone came for a visit and didn't appreciate the risk factor due to the 15 feet of tile between the house and the pool. They shut the ruckus down. That was a summer that the locals would almost make you forget that they were in Iraq. They would run missions all night and be home by morning. The mornings usually consisted of a group of us going down to the street to get some breakfast. Well, actually dinner. After a nice big plate of breakfast consisting of runny eggs, grits, they would cruise over to the Baskin-Robbins freezer for ice cream. Lying next to the pool, eating a root beer float after breakfast was an event that for some became a daily ritual. All from our U.S. taxpayers.
In Iraq, in the middle of war.
Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, Surf and Turf Fridays?
Surf and Turf Fridays. Did that come from the Euphrates River?
No, it was T-bone steaks, Alaskan king crabs, and lobster tails from Maine. Every Friday.
Jesus, that sounds expensive.
I didn't care. I didn't pay for it, but I didn't miss it either.
I wouldn't have either. I'm not going to lie.
Oh, yeah, it was great fun, man. Next contract. We should all go.
Sure.
Sure.
I just
Well,
want to take some pictures.
I got that one too.
I just want to take some pictures.
I think that because the only thing that really kept the economy going during the downturn 07, 08, 09 was the war in Iraq. I mean, there was so much money going out.
Right. War brings everything.
Yeah.
The fucking Depression, World War II.
Yep.
War spends a lot of money and it brings in a lot of money.
It puts a lot of money into the economy.
Yeah. Things start moving.
Yeah.
They got to start spending money. People got to start doing shit.
I came home and I bought my wife a brand new Volvo.
Volvo.
Yeah, XC90 because she was a soccer mom and I was not buying a minivan.
You don't want her to be the soccer mom?
No. But yeah, the next one, man. That's my nephew is currently in South Korea. He joined the army and he was like, I want to be infantry. I was like, the fuck you do? What are you gonna do with that when you get out? It's not. He's like, well, I like computers. So I went to the recruiter with him and I was like, hey, this is what he wants to do. He's now, 4 years into a 6-year hitch, and he's got all of these cybersecurity certifications, all paid for by the Army, and he already has contractors,
Right.
wanting to hire him. He's like, hey, when do you get done? You got 2 years left? Here's my card. Call me. He goes to a new duty station. Hey, when do you get done? Hey, here's my card. Call me.
You got to sit them all at the table and say, hey, who's got the best offer here?
The best offer he's got so far is 160.
Jesus.
And he's like, yeah, this is way better than being infantry. I was like, fuck yeah, it is.
Right? So, well, I'm not going to lie to you. I got to be up early.
Oh.
I think we'll wrap it up. Tim's got a family, so he's going to have to, go tuck some babies in and kiss his wife and make up for calling her a hooker.
You're in trouble.
That's all right.
Hey, honey, you ever been to Dubai? Like there was that, 5 years before we really started dating. Like you said, you went and worked overseas.
You said you thought you recognized Josh.
You know a guy named Josh?
Oh God, you're in trouble.
That's all right.
If she ever listens to this, you're in a lot of trouble. Actually, someone's gonna tell her. 'Cause we have a few.
She's supposed to be listening to it.
Oh God, I haven't got a text. So, have you got a text?
The only text I got is when we get our tax return, Reagan is getting his nuts chopped off.
You're nuts?
Reagan, our dog.
Both.
Oh,
So you're gonna take them at the same time.
Sure.
2 for 1.
Brian thought about using a bander one time, like cattle bander.
Why not? I heard it itches.
That's the crabs.
That's from your surfing turf.
Yeah. Should have cleaned up that river a little bit.
That was from that girl from Senegal.
That's from drinking all that water out of the fucking tap you weren't supposed to.
That's what's in that can.
No, this is mountain water from Austria, the Alps.
Once cracked open, no thirst is safe from liquid death.
Murder your thirst.
Well,
Thanks for bringing me on again, fellas.
Oh yeah, we'll have you again. We're gonna try to get Cody again if we can get him to fucking schedule properly.
Oh man, I bet me and him going back and forth would be a riot.
I don't think you'll go back and forth though, because he's gonna sit
He'll
there.
just show me like, okay, where's the beer?
Where's the beer? Well, he's gonna sit there and you're gonna say something. He's like, "Yeah, that was before my time. Yep,
Oh.
that was before my time. Yep, that was before my time." Josh's like, "What did you do?" "Yep, that was before my time."
remember 5 minutes ago? Nope, that was before my time.
Dude, I know if he was a dog handler, he witnessed some dumb shit.
Oh yeah, he's. I
Like-
tried to get him. He told me all the stories like from since I've known him a while. I have a little collection. He's like, "Dude, I don't remember none of that." I'm like, "How do you not remember us coming?"
Stage fright. You get in front of a microphone, you're like,
No. He just doesn't remember. He doesn't remember going to Legoland. He was picking up chicks in Legoland. You get all these yuppie parents and they're like 2-year-olds and he's over there going, "Hey, you want to come back to my motel room?" And the girl's like, "Oh my God, honey, he wants me to come back with him." And the dad's like, "What do I do?" She's like, "I guess if
He
you
thinks I'm pretty.
if you want to stay married just one night, you have to deal with it." All right. Well, thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. Head out. I fed you again. You got pizza.
Not as good as a steak, huh, Josh?
Cheaper though.
A lot cheaper. Hey, that's still my favorite part. What do you want, sir? Steak. Medium rare. Loaded baked potato because I'm a fucking adult. You know why I get loaded mashed potatoes?
Because you're a child still getting your teeth.
No, because I'm an adult and it's my money. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Okay,
with it.
yeah. You tell yourself that. We all know the real reason. You pop those dentures out and gum it down.
I had 5 sides of corn. It was great.
He
got this
did. He
bacon.
did.
It was a good time. Oh, God.
Got rejected by the waitress again.
I did not. I don't think I left my card that time.
no, because you got rejected the first time.
It's not
I
rejection.
can't confirm that one.
The thing is, it's not rejection if I didn't get texted because I left it. The busboy could have grabbed it and said, "Fuck him, she's mine." You know, threw it away or something. It happens.
She's mine.
Yeah, that's what happened, guys. He got cock blocked by the busboy.
The first one, the cards were wrong because somebody's just like dyslexic or something.
Both of us proofread our cards like, "This look right." Fucking handing them out, and this girl blocks me on Facebook. I'm like, "What are you pissed off about?" Gave her the wrong phone number. She wasn't happy. They don't like it when you give them the wrong phone number. I think it makes them feel bad.
I wouldn't know. The last time I've been married for 20 years almost, and I haven't bought a hooker since.
A transport hooker.
Transport her.
Hey, if you ever travel internationally, get a fixer.
Yes, but make sure you get a good one though. You don't want one of the shitty ones going to rob you.
Yeah.
Hey, drink this real quick.
Oh, dude, she made so much money.
She quit hooking.
She went from working with us. We'd like tell other people like, "Oh my God, how was Dubai?" It was like a joke. Yeah, how were the hookers? They're like cockroaches and rats. And we told them what we're doing. They're like, "Can I have her number?" And we started giving them, and all the married guys, we didn't want to deal with the prostitutes or anything like that. So we would just hire her, and she would make it all better. It was so much nicer.
I think that's their job.
Yeah.
Right. Oh man. So, well, thank you, sir.
Anytime.
Don't seek therapy if you need it.
Oh, yeah. Talk to somebody, man. I'm telling you. Listen to this. Laugh. Think about your good times. Farmers, ranchers, truck drivers, fucking
Medical
first
professionals.
responders.
We've had out medical professionals too.
Oh, dude, it'd
Big
get
thing.
burnt out, man. My wife's burned out.
So don't end it. Do something better. Listen to us. I mean, we're not that great, but we'll try.
Oh, yeah. I'm a fucking idiot.
Perfect. Thanks, sir.
Yep.
And we're out.